Welcome to DAX Machina. Together, we'll explore the writings of D.A. Roberts along with other authors, with a particular emphasis on the horror genre. We'll discuss writing, the inspiration behind horror stories, as well as the possibility that monsters might not be safely locked away in the pages of fiction. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 8th episode of DAX Machina. Tonight we were going to be featuring our featured guest, which was Nick Valente from the North American Dogman Project, but he's having some technical issues. We haven't been able to get him on the show yet. So we're just going to talk about a few things until he's able to get that cleared up and get on. One thing I did want to do right off the bat before we started tonight is, well, I'm going to take a second and pour a little bit of Irish whiskey, and I want to make a statement real quick. Robert's got some, and I don't generally talk about personal things on the show, and don't generally bring that in. But something happened today, and I just wanted to lift a glass to a fallen friend. I found out just a couple hours ago that a very dear friend of mine in law enforcement was killed in a motorcycle accident today. And, I'll see you in Valhalla, Andy.
Fair winds and fallen seas, brother.
Thank you, Andy, for your service, and to your family as well.
I won't give his full name because I don't think they've made all the announcements yet. They haven't formally notified everybody, but
yeah.
Well, thank you
we got the big guy here, Mr. Nightmare Hunter.
The old guapo himself.
The choice of the what is it? The Versa.
I was telling Robert
the Versa Hunter. Sorry.
I was telling Robert before the show started. I have located another abandoned campground on Table Rock Lake, and it makes Joe Bald look tame. Joe Bald's a creepy place. This place, I don't know what happened there. I can't find any information on it. It was an active campground with a marina, and the Army Corps of Engineers shut the park down and then bulldozed in piles of dirt to prevent people from getting access to it. I've got to get back in that campground. I'm going to need a 4-wheel drive to get back in there because that's the only way. You're not going to get my minivan's not going to cross those berms. Got a like, fellas? Yeah, my minivan will never make it over those berms, but I'm going to get back there one way or the other now that the weather is finally warmed up. I've got to locate somebody with a Jeep or a good 4-wheel drive truck and get back in there and shoot a video. It's really off the beaten path. It's outside Blue Eye, Missouri, which, if any of you are familiar with rural Missouri, Blue Eye is what we call a poke and plum town. Poke your head out the window and you're plumb through it. It's not a very big town, just kind of a whistle stop, and it's really creepy. I was looking at it on Google Maps. I haven't been to the park yet because it's so far out there. It is kind of in the middle of nowhere, but I am going, and I'm gonna make that happen very soon. If I can get out there and get a video shot. And of course, then there's going to wind up being a book set there. The place is called Combs Ferry, Coombs, Combs Ferry. And you can find it on Google Maps. And when you look at it on maps, it looks like this fine little campground, although there's nobody in it. But if you zoom in, you can see where they've bulldozed in the berms. It is completely abandoned. There's nothing but a wreck and frame of the floating dock left. And I've got to get in there. That's going to happen. So I'm going to load up the pistol and you load up the shotgun. And even though I'm still walking with a cane and a walker, I'm going to find some way to get past those berms and get way back into that campground and shoot a video or two, and we'll go from there. But that's definitely going to make its way into setting for a book. So I'm always looking for locations, folks. If you are familiar with the Ozarks at all, and the Ozarks is a big area. It's not just around where I live. It runs from the middle of the state all the way to basically where Arkansas and Louisiana meet. The Ozark Mountains run right into the Wichita Mountains, which, if those of you familiar with Codename Wild Hunt, the first book, Odin's Call, it took place in the Wichita Mountains. The Ozarks butt right up to the Wichitas, and that's a very hilly, very heavily wooded area. So any of that area, any places, abandoned campgrounds, ghost towns, anything like that, if you send it my direction, I'm going to go check it out. Sean says, I live in Rockaway Beach. Have you got a 4-wheel drive? I don't. My minivan will not make it. But I do like the Rockaway Beach area. Yeah, you do. Well, you're in California, so it's a little bit of a drive.
Roger. So I figure Roger could
grab the Nightmare Hunter.
Yeah, so Roger could swing by in his Versa, and we'll make sure we know we're going to get hit on that. If we just park it over there by the farm, it's going to attack the damn Versa.
Dogman magnet.
It's like Thomas with the big hairy guy.
Yeah. Just put on some Barry White. John Miller, greetings from Portland, Maine. Thank you for joining us, John. I'm still not getting anything from Nick. Hopefully, whatever technical issues he's having, he can get fixed unless his internet service is out, which in that case we may just have to wing it without him. I have been a little bit remiss in my duties today. Haven't exactly been keeping up on the cryptid reports in the area. The last few days, actually, I've been working hard to try to finish Codename Wild Hunt Operation Blood Eagle, and it turned into a bigger labor than I thought. Generally, these books cap out around 70,000 words. Well, I hit 70,000 and realized I still had a lot of story yet to tell. So it's not done. It's probably going to end up being closer to 80, maybe even 85,000 words. I thought I was going to be done by now, but they're just. It seems like when I let the characters run wild, they have a lot more story in mind that they want told. So we're going to see where the characters go on this, and hopefully I'll have that done tonight or tomorrow. Then it goes to phase 1 edits, which I'm going to send it to a couple of people and have them rip into it. And then it'll go to my editor for final stage edits, and we'll go from there. So hopefully we'll have some release details on Operation Blood Eagle very soon. Again, it turned out to be a lot bigger than I expected it to be, and I think it's gonna be worth the wait. It's been a lot of fun writing, and I've really been enjoying it. Raj, what book are you in now? Can't hear you.
Can't hear him, or maybe it's me. My wife is always saying I'm deaf. So
how about now?
I got you.
All right. Still learning how to operate this thing. I do apologize. I'm in the second Wild Hunt book, and I'll see if I can find my Kindle right now and find out exactly where I'm at, but I do not recall at the moment. But DA, well, actually, oh man, I know they're going to go out with Winter. I know that. And Grandfather has already arrived.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I know they're going to go after them. Yes, I got all hands on deck. They're going out and they're hunting. And I believe they identified 6 or 8 of them, possibly. And I think that's where I'm at right now.
You're in the second Wild Hunt then.
Yes, second Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
DA, why don't you let the audience know where the program is now? This is a first, is it not?
It is the first. I got everything set up. We are going out not only on my Facebook page, my author page, but the NDB Media Facebook page, as well as live streaming to YouTube. We got it set up, and it's off and running. So that's a big step up for us. That means if you missed the show, you can go back to the YouTube channel and check it out at your leisure. My doctor is a big time believer. He said there was a sighting deep in the Forsyth Woods. Haven't confirmed anything though. Well, yeah, definitely let me know. Forsyth isn't that far away from here. I'd love to go check it out. I may not be as ambulatory as I once was, but doesn't mean it'll stop me from going.
As a matter of fact, DA, just very quickly, we're reaching out to Sean Forney. He is an author as well as artist, and he recently wrote the field guide to cryptids.
Nice. That'd be a good one to have on the show.
The big dog tagged me in that, and it said, hey, this would be great for the Nightmare Hunter. And the author himself liked the post. So Peter's going to reach out to him, and we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. But the field guide to cryptids, I think that'll be awesome.
I need to get that book. How long ago did it come out? Do you know?
I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and place the link right here in our chat.
Okay.
So if you gentlemen want to check it out, you can do so. The general. Josh? Oh wow, yeah. The general is what's his code name? It starts with an A, right?
Asgard.
Asgard, yes. DA, one thing that I wanna pick with you, especially in these books, is look, I know, I get it. The U.S. government acknowledges that there are cryptids and the existence of such, but who knows about this? Because there are some field decisions that are being made, and working in government as I do, if you're not of the family, they don't like you to add people to the group. So are you going to address that maybe moving forward? Because
they were one thing I do want to make clear about the wild hunt, and as we reveal more and more about the history, they were given carte blanche to recruit experts, i.e.,
there it is, okay.
i.e., shaman, creatures that aren't preying on man that want to go after the other ones. They were given the directive: seek allies where you can find them.
I thought that was best in there.
Maybe. If not, I'll go back and find it. If not, I'll make sure it gets made clear. That's just to me, it made perfect sense that a field team like that would use whatever assets they could find. If they found somebody like the case of Winter, she's a powerful shaman. Why wouldn't they attempt to recruit that asset?
Yeah, and they actually do pick experts in it. They do pick experts in a field. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That does happen.
Yeah, Robert, you were in the Marine Corps, the military. You've worked with the Department of Defense. You've worked around those high level operators.
Yeah, you're talking about there's folks that they can bring in that are definitely, any expert that can help you complete the mission, they'll bring in. That is a correct statement.
As far as the way special operations community works, you having been involved in the special operations community, how do the books stand up? Because I like for the details to be as accurate as I can. Do they operate correctly? Is what I'm asking.
Right. From my experience in the military, I think they're great. And like I told you before, you're dealing with a lot of this stuff is correct, and you're also dealing with the type of mission that's just not normal to the normal.
Yeah. A little outside the normal
battalion or company or something like that. Right. And so, those other things get kind of adjusted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do like to make sure all my details are correct, from the weapon systems to the way the military machine moves, the vehicles they use, the aircraft. I try to make sure as much of the details are correct as I possibly can. I don't have a background in special forces. I read a lot, and I know a lot of guys that were involved in special forces, and I ask a lot of questions. I do a lot of research, and I just want to make sure that I get the details as right as I possibly can within the parameters of it being a fictionalized story, and I need to change certain things for the story, and not everything can be exactly how it is, but I try to make it as believable as possible.
Yeah, and by all means, I'm no SF guy, but, you know, but I've been around it and some of the stuff in there, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Just your normal, average, everyday Joe.
Well, I think you're underselling it a little bit, but we'll go with that.
We got ourselves another like. This time it's the general himself gave us a little bit of love.
Thank you, sir. I have all my material set out and ready to start Nightmare Hunter Uncanny Valley. That's ready to roll. Like I said, I just ran into more detail than I'd expected with the Wild Hunt book, but I hope to have that done for the end of the weekend. Maybe tonight, maybe. But it is coming along. It's already well over 70,000 words and climbing.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, DA, that used to be 1/4 of one of your books.
No, about half. The original Ragnaroks were about 150,000 apiece.
Yeah, I know. All right, I'm just exaggerating.
I do like to tell a big story.
Oh, pardon the pun, right?
I've got a lot of plans for the books in the coming months and the coming years. I'm not planning on stopping writing anytime soon. It's my passion. It's the thing I enjoy doing, and even though I was a career cop, and that was pretty much who I was, I can't do that anymore, and I will always, part of me will always miss it. Because I've always been the kind of guy that ran toward violence instead of running away from it, and that probably won't change. I mean, I might not be much help, but I'm still going to fight. I'm happy being a writer. It's taken me places I didn't expect it to, and I've met a lot of very amazing people over it. And I'm looking forward to see where it goes. I mean, it's come a long way. Roger can tell you in the last 10 years. It's changed a lot since that first book came out. I feel like the journey's just getting started. So we've got a long way to go, and I look forward to many more years of producing books that hopefully you guys will thoroughly enjoy.
Without being dramatic.
How did you guys meet?
Roger was one of my very first interviews. He may have been the first interview.
I'm almost certain I was.
I had one book out, the first book of the Ragnarok Rising saga, Ragnarok Rising: The Awakening, back when it was going to be a 5-book set, although at the time I thought it was going to be a 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Roger was the first one to find out it was going to become a 5-book instead of a 3-book, because I'd already said it was going to be a trilogy.
Well, I first found out it was going to be 4.
Yeah, and then it went to 5.
Yes.
And that was that first. It was actually the first 2 books currently. Awakening and Crucible were 1 book under the original release. But when I signed with JEA, they used a different marketing format, and they based all their publications on 75,000 words. So I had to cut all the manuscripts in half. But the original release with a 1 book, Roger was not probably the first interview.
Yeah, I'm almost certain I was. DA reached out to us, and it was wow. It was impressive. It was really cool.
I was shocked they answered me, to be honest.
Shocked. I thought our turnaround was fairly fast. We're like, holy crap, we got a message? Who's yeah, we're in. Hell yeah. And then DA immediately sent over a copy to us, and I voraciously took that one in. I will be with you gentlemen a little bit. I shall.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Roger got called away. But yeah, that's how Roger and I met. Was the first.
Yeah.
He gave me my first interview, and and he's watched the series, and the other books grow as well. And that it'll actually be 10 years next year. I released the first book on the first week of October. No, I'm sorry, the first week of July 2012. So I want to go back over the books with a fresh edit and new cover. Well, not necessarily new covers, but I would like to do a hardback edition if I can find a place that makes them affordable, because print-on-demand hardbacks are expensive. But I'd like to do a 10th anniversary hardback edition of the books.
Yeah.
Just for those people that have been fans for so many years.
So was Roger doing the same thing, Nightmare Hunter, back then?
No. He was doing NDB Media, and I created the Nightmare Hunter. I wanted to do a character based on Roger, and I also wanted to do a character based on Darren McGavin's Kolchak the Night Stalker from the 70s.
Yeah, great series, by the way.
I actually wanted to write a book, a Kolchak the Night Stalker book, but doing that is it could be done, but I don't think the company that owns the rights is going to let me just show up and go, hey, I'm going to write one of these books. It could be done, but it would take a lot of hoops to go through. So I decided to do something similar but my own. And I started introducing the reporter into the other book series, and I based him on Roger. I named him after Roger. And then when I explained Roger what I was doing, we created the Nightmare Hunter series to chronicle the books and cryptids to show the real world Roger versus the book Roger and tie it all in.
Yeah, that was a good idea. That's really, really a cool idea, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty happy with it, and it's a great way to give the books a real world identity.
I can sit here.
It gives the books a real world identity, and lets people see a side of the books they wouldn't normally see. And it also opens up the possibility of other stories.
Yeah, that's really cool, because
we
good
just got
concept.
Actually, we got 2 more likes.
Oh wow! Okay.
John Miller and Jacob Hayes. Gentlemen, thank you. already topping it back off.
Yeah, doing that. Oh, you can see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the cap coming off. Heard the cap coming off. Got all excited.
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. Damn. It's like water, so it goes quick.
Yeah, definitely.
I got to be careful. or that thing will be empty pretty soon. I'm talking about the bottle this time.
Yeah,
not like I've done that before.
Very true. So, if anybody has any questions they'd like to ask about the books, I'm more than willing to answer them. I've got a lot of books coming up, already planned for the remainder of the year. In fact, I can show that real quick. This is what is in the works. Book 3 of the Lakeview Man series, The Beast of Blunk Road. I might push that out to book 4 of Lakeview Man and put another book in between there, because I think the next Lakeview Man I want to set at that new place I found, Combs Ferry. I really want to use that location. I've got to get out there and shoot some video first, but that's the location I really, really want to use. I'm pretty excited about it. It's given me a lot of really good ideas.
Yeah.
Also, this movie we've talked about, it's Bigfoot versus the Wendigo. It's called Dawn of the Beast. It comes out in 3 days. It's going to be streaming and on demand and on DVD. I have got to watch this. I am so excited about watching it. The creature effects look really good. I'm not saying the acting looks great, but I'm not watching it for that. I'm watching it for the monsters. So I think it's going to be well worth watching. Hey, we just picked up another one.
It's going to be interesting what they do with that.
Jeff, thank you.
Lakeview Man version of of it.
Yeah.
What do you think? That's definitely gone away.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you that don't know, 3 of my short stories were featured by Cam Buckner from Dixie Cryptids on his second podcast called What If It's True? And it's 3 of my short stories, 2 Dogman stories and 2 Dogman stories and 1 Bigfoot story. If you guys haven't had a chance to listen to those, check them out. I just shared the link, the direct link to the show, the podcast in the chat, and I will put it up as a banner as well. And if you get a chance to check that out, I think you'd like that.
They did a really good, yeah. They did a really good job reading those, and those were really, really good stories.
Thank you.
And it was kind of those 3 short stories that you wish that were a longer story.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
The beast of the lake was something I'd intended to do as a prequel to the Apex Predator books. Instead, I just started doing it as short stories and was putting them up on my blog for free for people to read. And when I got to talking to Cameron Buckner from Dixie Cryptid, he said, "Hey, if you've got any short stories, I'd love to narrate them on my channel." And I was like, "Oh, hell yes!" I sent him those 3 over, and he put those on, and I really like it. I'm also going to be doing an interview on his Dixie Cryptid podcast sometime in the near future. We tried it once before, but he was having some issues with recording equipment that he's got to get fixed before we can record the video. We could have done it over the phone, but we really wanted to do the sound quality to be better. So we thought it better to just wait instead of doing it with poor sound quality.
Right. I think he talked about that too. And but yeah, they did a hell of a job on that.
Roger, I'd love to hear what you think of them. But that was the big news this week. I was pretty excited to see that happen because I knew he was working on it. I just didn't know when he was going to release those. And then out of the blue, like 2 days ago, he sent me a text. He goes, "Hey, go check the What If It's True podcast. I think you see something you like." I went over and was like, "Oh, this is cool." I was kind of freaking out. Felt like a kid on Christmas. I was pretty excited.
You know what? If you hadn't told me where it was, I wouldn't have known either. I wouldn't have known about that either. But the What If It's True things are pretty cool.
He does quite a few of them.
Recommend y'all going over there and taking a look at that.
Yeah, he does a lot of really good shows, and most of them are accounts that people have sent him. But he does also some fiction. He's got a series of his own called Steve Lilly. It's about a guy that hunts monsters, kind of like the Wild Hunt, but it's just this redneck guy that hunts monsters. And he asked me if I'd do a Steve Lilly story, and I'm thinking about doing one of those for him sometime this summer. Raj, welcome back.
Hola.
Hey, he's back.
I'll probably be in and out right now. Did you get all the other likes? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, we're caught up.
Okay, because we're up to 6 now.
Yeah, I know, and you got to catch up.
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of heard a little bit. I hope you guys weren't able to hear me. I tried to mute myself.
No, we didn't hear you.
Okay, but
at least I didn't.
You were the first one.
Your first interview?
Or I was your first one, yeah. So been there from almost the very beginning, pal.
It's been a long journey.
Aye.
A lot of things have changed in the last 10 years.
Just a little bit, yes.
I'm
5 books to 10, and now where are you officially? 20 now?
21, with this one about to be the 22nd.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm on Wild Hunt 2. That means the next one is next one is Lakeview Man, right? 2?
You should be Lakeview Man 2.
And then Apex Predator 4?
Yeah, your next one
is Lakeview Man.
You're on the second Wendigo. Yeah, then it'll be Lakeview Man 2 and then Apex 4.
Yeah, considering where I was in January,
you've really been flying through them.
Yeah, I normally just eat up your material.
I can't wait for you to do Lakeview 2 because there's some scenes in Lakeview 2 I cannot wait to hear your reaction on.
Well, that's where it's rumored what everyone has told me, I'm sure, which is just fine, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there'll be 2 takeaways for you from Lakeview too. Always get the insurance on the car rental and carry a flare gun.
Well, it's funny. I never get the insurance on a car rental because of the credit cards that I have.
Nice.
So I guess I'm going to have to get it now to stick to it. As a matter of fact, DEA and I were spending, I don't know if I already told this story, so I'm going to go ahead and tell it. I think it's kind of funny. DEA and I were spending some time together about a week ago, and we were talking about some materials for a Nightmare Hunter. And I secretly let DA know. I said, yeah, Taxis has been phenomenal. It's been awesome. It's been great. And everything is really cool. And then DA, we were talking about maybe investing in some items. And it was rather amusing because I saw the prices on some of the items. And all of a sudden, without even thinking, I was like, oh, well, the season's been okay. I backed up. Yeah, very good, DA. DA learned what that means in the Latin world. That means tight-fisted, miserly, whatever. But it was so amusing when I went from, oh, DA, it's been awesome. I'm so excited. And then when I saw the price on the what are the hats?
They're the pork pie hats that
Kolchak
wore on Kolchak the Night Stalker. I tell you, judging by the quality of the pictures, I really can't wait to see that hat. I think it's going to be freaking awesome.
And we are going to get them. But it was just so funny how I went from, dude, it's been great to, oh, well, season's been okay. I was backing up right away. But yes, I've already chosen the T-shirt.
You want to join us? Let me know.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Are there any scheduled cryptid conventions or tentatively planned author appearances in the foreseeable future?
Yes, there are. I was invited to I believe it's the Greater Cumberland County Bigfoot Festival. Let me look it up real quick.
And by the way, while you're doing that, Josh Jones just gave us a like. And ladies and gentlemen, for those that know and don't know, Josh Jones and his, dare I say this carefully, his ilk will be on this channel as well moving forward, which is kind of cool. We're just harboring our resources, shall we say.
I am going to be featured at the Upper Cumberland Bigfoot Festival where is it at? It's in Tennessee.
The like is for Josh Jones
October,
and Thomas Whitney.
Yeah, it's in October 16th in Crossville, Tennessee. I will be there, and I'm also looking at trying to get a table at the Hanabi Bigfoot Festival in Hanabi, Oklahoma, which is right close to where the famous incident, the siege at Hanabi, happened. And I would like to go try to find the house where it happened and shoot a couple of videos there as well.
Did you mention to the audience what happened this past Thursday?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry.
No problem at all.
Yeah. Robert's correct. I have to catch up. And I may be darting out from every now and then. So I ask your tolerance and your understanding. I'm just happy to be here. It's a Saturday night during tax season. Oh my! I don't know what's going on. Oh wait, it's Easter weekend. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well,
I know we didn't think we were going to see the Nightmare Hunter tonight.
I wasn't expecting it. I had one appointment on Friday and one appointment today, and they rescheduled for later this week. So when that happened, I could rest up a little bit, and I closed tomorrow. So I'm not seeing anyone tomorrow. So I'm really happy about that.
Nice. Give you a much deserved day off.
My 2 days.
Nice.
Relatively speaking, right. I still have work to do. But it looks like we picked up another like. And this one is from Cindy John Pierre. Is that correct?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Telling you, Robert, drinking whiskey out of a canteen cup has its own unique flavor. And because of you, I've worked. That actually happens in the new Wild Hunt book. It had to. They're all sharing. They're all sharing whiskey out of canteen cups.
Oh, okay.
I had to do it.
Did Sentinel get the thumbs up for that?
Yes, he does.
I'm gonna when I take off the next few moments and come back, I'm gonna go get my Kindle and find out exactly where I'm at on the wild hunt.
Okay.
But I am enjoying it, and it's a really good stuff.
You're on page 242, Roger.
I'm on page 242. Okay. I know that I'm on page 88 of the Apex Predator, and I'm also on page 150. What is it? I'll have to say, but somewhere else. But like I said, Mika, man, that guy ripped into me hard.
He's kind of an asshole. I love him. He's fun.
I actually find Margolin a nice guy compared to Mika.
Margolin's the guy that will say literally anything.
Wait till you happen when what happens when you get drunk and pass out around Mika. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that out there.
Which was what? One Mike's Hard Lemonade? Probably that's all it was. I'm on page 88 and 157 of Apex Predator Hunter's Moon. So I am not. I haven't seen myself in this latest book. I maybe we'll see. But I guess
good to
I'm on
see
page
that you got that picture off of your forehead.
Oh, that's reassuring. Yes. Oh my goodness, that is funny. I did realize of I don't want to give anything else away, but about Doc, that did surprise me. I don't want to. There are people here that have not read that yet, so I'm not going to say anything else. That surprised me a little bit. And the character of Winter. How do you pronounce her last name or her first name?
I would have to look up what her name is.
Oh, cut it out. You made it up. You better be able to pronounce it.
Of course
George Lucas could pronounce it. And case in point, remember the planet that we called Hoth? It was actually pronounced Hoth.
Do you have any idea how many characters I've got to keep track of?
I don't give a rat's ass as to how many characters. This is your universe. You are the George Lucas.
Well, I've got the beard for it.
Yeah, but, at least you have the same understanding that he does. Special effects without a story is a sad thing. And you know that you have to have a story first and foremost.
Exactly.
So.
Well, give me just a minute to find the file because I keep my files for all of that stuff.
Josh says he's not going to be able to join us tonight, but he will be doing a program tomorrow, which it's kind of funny and ironic in this universe of NDB Media that All Tower Media is on Sunday night, and then the next Sunday is Jedi.tax Radio.
There you go.
And then All Tower Media and then Jedi.tax Radio. Is that... Ugh. I mean, wow. That's just going to kill the ratings for both programs. Oh, my goodness. So I'm gonna run over and pick up my Kindle in just a few moments.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm looking forward. The big dog is reaching out to that author, Sean Forney, and he's also not only an author, but he is he's an artist. He knows how to draw. So you never know.
It's
really
Winter Damashkawazi.
What's his specialty? What's his specialty, Roger?
I'm learning about him. He actually does cryptids as well, it looks like. So he has a few books out there as well. Yeah.
Nice.
It looks like yeah, he looks like he loves cryptids. So
nice.
That'll be exciting. Jeffrey Davis is DA. I love your store. If you ever need Hello Investigating Stories, I'm more than willing to help. All right. Well, I'm going to be back in a few moments, gentlemen. Thank you. And we'll see what happens. See, how do I do this? Yeah, there it is.
Yankees. That's funny.
I think that's what he's talking about his pastime. It's a Yankee.
Yeah, whatever makes him happy.
Well, at least he made it dark for that.
True. Yeah, I
Oh,
think he also
Yankee.
muted us.
We're not muted there, Roger.
I still have not heard anything from Nick. I think we're just going to assume he couldn't make it. I mean, we're already 40 minutes into the program and haven't heard anything from him.
Well, I'm sure he's busy doing something.
I'm sure. John Miller says, I'm a relatively new fan. I just
John.
finished Wolf Moon, and I'm looking forward to finishing up the series. I did a Google search for Dogman Cryptid books, and Apex Predator popped up. The cover grabbed me right away. Is the Dogman on the cover of Wolf Moon a recreation of your own encounter, or is it the artist's interpretation of a Dogman? That was actually done by the cover artist, Michael Fisher. The cover artist works for J. Ellington Ashton Press, and he did a conceptualization of what I described. So that is an artist rendering. And I really like the covers. He does a really good job on those covers. I mean, I love his work. However, if you were wanting to see some of the images that were taken from the video we filmed, I will pull those up really quick. I've got them in a file on my desktop. So all I need is these. Give me just a second. I've got to upload about 4 or 5 pictures. And to just kind of give you an idea of the encounter that Steve and I had down at Joe Bald.
And you're still wanting to go out and do that again, right?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going back down there. That's gonna happen.
That was something I think we even talked about. I think we talked about that when we come out there in November.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I'm finding more pictures that I want to bring up. Okay. So basically, a year and a half ago, my friend Steve, my partner in crime, Steve Wildman Monrotis, who's off tonight because it's his mother's birthday, he and I went down with our wives to the the old abandoned Joe Bald campground. At the time, I was making the planning stages for Lakeview Man, and I wanted to shoot some promo videos. In fact, you can see that video in its entirety on my Ozarks Haunted Pathways YouTube channel. And we went down there. We shot a 1.5, 2-minute video. It wasn't very long, and it was just basically me shining a flashlight around and talking about Joe Bald, because it is a creepy place, especially at night. It's an abandoned campground. It hasn't been open for over 20 years. And we just shot this video. Well, we didn't see anything. He didn't hear anything. We shot the video, got back in the van, and left, and went to go eat. Well, while we were do you think we couldn't tell? The only thing we saw was the head. Okay, and well. We shot the video and we left and we went and ate, and I went home and I took the video off my phone because I just shot it with my little iPhone 7 and transferred it over to the computer, and I did no editing on it. I just transferred it over to the computer and uploaded it to YouTube. And when I was in the process of uploading it to YouTube, I noticed there were 2 or 3 spots where there was eye shine. I thought, well, that's kind of neat. But at the time I had no reason to think it was anything but maybe a raccoon or a possum or something. It was up a tree. It was, high off the ground. So at that point, we figured it was probably a raccoon. Didn't think anything more of it. Uploaded to YouTube, forgot about it. Flash forward to about 2 months ago, where we first started the Nightmare Hunter. We showed that video on there just to talk about that area because it was one of the areas featured in my books. And that's where one of the Gugway attacks happened, was there at the Joe Bald campground. So while we were talking about it, we showed the video, and that's when Thomas, who sometimes joins us on the show, you sometimes see him as Dream, but it's Thomas Whitney. Thomas pointed out, hey, there was something moving behind that tree. Steve never saw it. I never saw it when we were filming it. We didn't notice anything there. Well, Josh Jones and Adam, I can't remember Adam's last name, Adam Shepard, they took the video and they took stills from the video and started cleaning it up. And I'm not going to show the whole video because I don't have it uploaded prepped, but this is the still that they started working from of this area right here. And that is just one of the frames from the book. And this is an abandoned, overgrown park. And then they said, okay, well, this is the still, but there's something right there. And I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, I can kind of see something, but I don't know. So then they did this. And I said, okay, I can see a shape there. You can see kind of a shape in the image there. But when they started really bringing it up, that's when we saw that.
DA, will you stop right there and back up to the prior image? Okay, you can see a shadow there, but if you look very carefully, looking down a bit,
you see its arm.
Well, I actually see fingers or nails or claws.
Yeah, fingers or claws.
Yeah,
you can distinctly see those. But then you bring that one up after they've brightened up the image more. You can see the claws, you can see the outline of the arm, and you can see the shape of a dog-like head. Its ears are up. You can see the nose. You can see the eyes. And then they brought it in a little closer, and it becomes painfully clear there's a wolf-like head sticking out behind that tree. Well, Adam Shepard went back down to that park in the daylight and reshot some of the spots from approximately where I was standing when we shot that video. Steve was filming. I was in front of the camera. And he isolated the tree, and judging by the shrubbery and everything that was around it, he went over and checked it out, and that head had to have been at least 8.5 to 9 feet off the ground. It was way too high to have been just a normal dog sticking its head out. It was 8 to 9 feet off the ground easily. And when we pan back, because we panned that area with the camera, and then we pan that area with the camera, and then we panned back. When we panned back, you could see it duck behind the tree. It wasn't just a random shadow. It was there the first time we went through, and at one point in the camera on the video, you can actually see it move back behind the tree when the flashlight hits it, and then you don't see it again. So it's not a brush, it's not a bush, it's not just a lens flare or an artifact. There is something physical at 8.5 to 9 feet behind that tree. 8.5 to 9 feet off the ground with a head like a wolf that moves independently of the camera and moves back behind the tree when we panned back. It was within about 30 yards of us. And we didn't know it was there until they cleaned up those images. And I was live on the air when they sent me those images, and I was about to freak out. I was trying to keep it together. I wouldn't want to freak out on the air, but I was like, holy shit, look at those images. And it's pretty terrifying. I've been back down there since, and I haven't seen anything, but I haven't been back down there at night. I honestly think the only thing that probably kept it from getting closer to us, because obviously it was getting close, is those things have a very heightened sense of smell, and both Steve and I were carrying guns. You can't see it on the camera because Steve's not on the camera, but you can't see a gun on me. But in my shirt, I was carrying an inside the waistband concealed pistol. I had a Glock 17 with a tactical light on it, and 17 rounds plus one in the pipe, so 18 rounds plus two more magazines. If it had come at us, it would have gotten 51 rounds, 52 rounds of hollow point in a very short order, because I'm pretty quick at reloading and putting steel on target. So that's the encounter. We didn't see it at the time. We didn't even know it was there until somebody cleaned up the image after seeing something on the camera. We didn't go out there with the intention of filming something like that. The whole intent of the video, and if you can watch it. I will go to YouTube and bring up the link to that and post it in the room so you guys can watch the entire video for yourselves. But the intention of going out there was basically just to shoot a promotional video for the coming Lakeview Man. Thought the video was gone. I went to look for it and it was gone, but I found it. It had scrolled over to the side. Okay,
I
here is the
think.
link
Hey,
to
D.
the
I think
video.
me and Roger. I'm gonna have to swing by and pick up Roger and take him up to the Big Bear Mountains to do the same thing at night.
Yeah, I'm in. I've been up to the Big Bear Mountains numerous times. As a matter of fact, I have a friend who has a property in the real part of Big Bear, which is kind of like 38 before it turns left to go down to Big Bear, just to the
Yeah.
east. And I've stayed there numerous times. I think the last time I was up there was in November. I stayed up there 2 nights. They have a home, uh, which is absolutely gorgeous up there. It's a nice 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's like you walk outside, it is dark, and
Yeah.
you can easily get lost over there. It's real nice.
You get away from the light pollution of the city, and it can get really dark.
As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if I told you, gentlemen, but
Yeah. It does.
the last time I was up there was movement, but there's a herd of donkeys or mules, about 100 to 140, that are kind of like up in that hill, I guess, on the north side of the lake. But where they live, it's kind of like where the lake ends. So it would be just on the north side of the valley. And at night, they just come down and they act like they own the place, which is really funny. And they have no fear.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because
And,
they've had a lot of sightings up in that area.
yeah, DEA mentioned that to me when I came back that weekend. And or no, yeah, when I came back, thank goodness he didn't tell me about it when I was going up there. When I came back, he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a hot spot up in Big Bear." Yeah, rat.
I told DA though. I told DA if he ever gets out here, then we'll make that run.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, where they live is, I guess it's the Woodlands. It's east of Sugarloaf,
Yeah.
and Sugarloaf is kind of like just a little over the hill south of Big Bear proper. And there's, I think there's a small observatory out there, which they're not too far away. But it's really nice where they are.
That makes sense.
Several nights, or one of the nights several years ago, there was something that went through their backyard, and you could clearly tell. And the separator from the yard next to them is wide enough for a wide individual to go through, and there were steps. So it was probably a bear that went by at night.
Could have been.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Josh Jones says, Adam said when he went back down there, not only was it horrifyingly quiet, 2 random deputies showed up with an ambulance not running code and just watched them leave. He said the whole experience was weird. It's a weird area down there, and I can't wait to get down to the new area that we found, Combs Ferry. I can't wait to get down there, because if there were random deputies showing up at Joe Bald, what's going to show up down there? Because they have gone to great lengths to keep people out. I mean, insofar as bulldozing berms that cars can't get over. A good 4-wheel drive can. You can kind of go over it and a little bit into the trees and get around it. From what it looks like, I'm pretty sure we can get back there with a good 4-wheel drive. But my minivan, there's no way in hell I could get back there. There's a day use area on the edge of the campground where you can still go down and fish, but they padlock that gate to the place at dark. They do not allow anybody in there. There are big signs everywhere. It says no camping, no loitering after dark. So for some reason, they shut that park down, and they don't want anybody in there after dark. And I can't find any reference to why. And I'm generally pretty good at finding stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy what's happened up there. We haven't really had anything like that recently. And I do notice that my brother's in the chat room. And there it is. I am hoping one day he'll be able to join us and he can tell us about some of those stories. I've told the stories, but again, it genuinely is second and third person when I tell it. And his stories are rather scary. Come on, Lewis. I understand you purchased a brand new laptop. Come on. So what do I know? But you can use your phone too, Lewis. But again, what do I know? Big Bear is a nice place to camp, but it gets weird at night.
Is Big Bear in the Sierras?
No.
Okay, I'm not real sure. I don't know the geography of California very well.
Yeah, Big Bear is
How
in the
far are
San
you guys
Bernardino.
from the Sierras?
Oh, the Sierras?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Sierras? Geez. The Sierra National
That's
Forest?
further up north.
Yeah, we're at least 2.5, maybe 3 hours away from the Sierras.
Okay, I was just curious. There's a lot of sightings on the Sierras.
The San Bernardino National Forest is the forest to the east of me, and it's kind of cut. Cajon Pass, Interstate 15, cuts it in half, basically, which is also the strike slip fault zone. I can't remember its name right now. San Andreas. So San Andreas cuts a wedge, and you have the Angeles National Forest to the west and the San Bernardino National Forest to the east.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Big Bear is, to the east. You have Mount San Antonio, Mount Baldy. Those are in the Angeles National Forest.
Where's Crater Lake?
Crater Lake is way to the north.
There are a lot of disappearances near Crater Lake. Like people experienced hikers just gone.
Is Crater Lake in No, it's not. Crater Lake. It's either in Northern California or in Oregon. Oh, there it is. It's in Oregon.
Okay.
And it's it's pretty far away from us right here. It is in the southern half of the state of Oregon. Almost dead center, but in the southern half, which is big. Hey, we got another like.
Nice.
Troy and Angela Crawford.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you. We salute you. Robert, where in Southern California are you? I'm in hell. I'm sorry. I mean Pomona.
Where are you at? Oh, Pomona.
in-
I know where you're at.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm down in the San Diego area.
Oh, okay, young man. Yes. It's funny. I'm sure we've crossed paths because I've been to San Diego many times, and most recently I've done a few Uber and Lyfts down there. I picked up these kids.
Where you been going down there?
Well, I haven't been down there in a while, but I've done Uber and Lyft a few times down in San Diego. And I've been as far as the border. Yeah, I picked up someone somewhere in, gosh, I don't know where it was, south of Escondido. And I took them directly to the border, and I was right there. And at that point, I think it was like 7:58 p.m. on a Saturday night. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to set my destination back to Pomona and just see how soon I could get back. And I got back just before 2 p.m. But I made money all the way up, which was kind of neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you for popping in, man.
All
Thank
that
you for
matters.
swinging by. You have a good night, man. Drive careful.
You bet,
Sierra
Josh.
Forest. Yeah, sorry about that. Sierra Forest is about 2 states. Not sure what that means, brother.
Well, his next comment is to the right.
Okay, well, yeah. I believe my brother has been up there in the Sierra National Forest, which is kind of like where Yosemite is.
Well, the reason I asked is
DA's asking about Sierra Nevadas,
yeah.
right? The Sierra
Ron
Nevadas.
Moorhead, who's a famous cryptozoologist, recorded some of the most famous recordings that are believed to be of Bigfoot in the Sierra Mountains, and they gave the recordings to a Navy crypto linguist, and he ran them through the deciphering computers that they use to break codes, and determined that one, it was out of the vocal range for possibility for humans. Humans couldn't hit some of the vocal the peaks and valleys on the vocal range, and two, it was some sort of language that it couldn't break. It recognized elements as a spoken language. And those were recorded over a period of several years in the Sierras by Ron Moorhead.
Well, they're the Sierras that begin at Sequoia National Forest, and then it runs into Sierra National Forest, where you have Yosemite, then Stanislaus, then you have Plumas National Forest. That's like one huge mountain chain just going up. And if this is, I'm certain what they're talking about, This is on the eastern side of California, the one that butts Nevada. Roger Peacock, are you talking about the Sierra Sounds?
That's exactly right. The Sierra Sounds.
DA, are those the ones that you and I talk about regularly that we haven't found?
Right. No, the one you and I talked about, I want to say was recorded on the Mogollon Rim, where they were blasting the calls, and they got one back. The Sierra Sounds are just recordings of what they believe to be Sasquatch communicating, and I don't know if we could get in trouble for copyright infringement for playing them on, because I know Ron Moorhead owns the rights to them, so I don't want to play them without
yes, we can.
Permission. We can.
We can get in trouble. Yes.
Oh, we can get. I figured we could.
Yeah, we have to ask. Where's the Mogollon Range again? Is that where you wanted me to go in eastern Arizona?
The Mogollon Rim's in Arizona, and there's been a number of disappearances there that's attributed to Sasquatch activity in the Mogollon Rim.
I think you said
they call it the Mogollon Man down there.
That's I think near the Coconino National Forest, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to tell you a little bit that due to the fact that tax season has been extended to May 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies and gentlemen, that just means since it's on a Saturday, it moves to Monday. So anyway, it's the 17th. But we were going to head over, my family and I were going to go over to the lake, not the lake, sorry, but the crater west of Winslow in late April, early May. But now with tax season being extended, it's probably going to be in late May.
Roger?
Yes.
When you go there.
Yes, I have to.
I expect to see a picture of you standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, when such a fine sight to see. There's a statue there. I want to see you standing next to that statue on the corner in Winslow, Arizona.
Okay, I need to know which statue it is then.
It's from that famous song, "Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, when such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me."
Oh, okay, got it. All right, well, I will have to find that.
Great song. Robert knows the song.
Well, I know the song, but I won't sing it because you'll lose your audience right now.
Well, nobody probably wanted to hear me sing either. I'm just a tone deaf hillbilly, can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Well, I'm just tone deaf.
All
right, I'm gonna.
Only thing I've ever been able,
tone deaf, I get it.
The only thing I've ever been able to hold a tune with was Cadence.
Cadence Clearwater?
No, not Credence. Cadence.
Oh, well, sure.
Cadence. Yo.
Marine Corps Cadence is like a foreign language. It really is.
Is it?
When I went to PSSP, which is Personal Security Screening and Processing, to get my clearance, they were bringing people from every branch of the service because the interviews were done by the DOD. So they had all of us from every branch staying in these barracks when we would go over to these interviews for daily. Because when you go for a high-level clearance, it's not like they show up and go, "Here, fill this out. Here's your clearance. Good to go. See you later." When you have a top-secret SCI or above top-secret clearance, it's a process, and it takes months for you to get fully vetted to get that clearance. Well, when I was going up for my clearance, they put us in a barracks area with people from the Air Force and Marines and some Navy guys and a couple Coasties, and there was just for every service was there. And every day we would march over, do our interviews, be over there through lunch, do more interviews with what we called the rubber hose guy, the guy that kind of interrogated us. And at the end of the day, we would march back over, and the PSSP interviews took a few weeks. Well, the senior NCO was a Marine drill who had left the drill sergeant trail and was going for another job, and he had to get a higher clearance. So he was put in charge of us. And me being fresh from Army Basic, and like 4 or 5 of us were Army Basic guys, I was a little E2 prick, and he would march us over there every day, and he'd right. We were like, what the fuck is he saying? And in the army, when you get to, I'm just like, fuck it, just keep marching. Whatever he says, just do it. And when we in the army, when you get to a broken terrain, the command is route, step, march. Okay, we know that command. We're marching, and we start heading for these rocks, and he goes, route, step, reach. And I go, what the fuck did he just say? He says, God damn it, I said route, step, march. We're like, No, you didn't. I don't know what the fuck you just said, but it sounded nothing like Route Step March. He goes, you guys need to learn to speak Marine. I'm like, we're not Marines, and no, we're not. What the hell is Route Step Right? All right. We just stopped. Like, what
Oh my God,
did he
that's
just
so
say?
funny.
We don't speak Jarhead.
As a matter of fact, I want to give a shout out to 2 more likes. My brother, Luis Noriega, gave us a like and a little bit of love. Troy and Angela Crawford. Thank you. You're up to 11.
Awesome. Thank you all. I'll stop boring you all with my Army stories.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, you get used to, because I remember going through boot camp, and I mean, you're like walking around like a dumbass there for so many days, and they're like, okay, they're doing this on purpose, you know. You're like, oh, is it the left? Is it the right? What are we doing here? And then you finally get it. And after that, no matter where you know, after you hear every march in the world, you finally get it. I remember, you know, because you got all the black cats down there at jump school. So, you know, when we all went down there, we was a bunch of Marines, and blended in with the Army and everybody else. And I remember every time we had to go anywhere, it was like this. They sang like it was almost like a song, you know. I remember, you get a line, I'll get a pole, baby.
Yeah, we had one to the.
I'll get a pole, honey.
We had an X-rated one about the Flintstones.
We'll go down to that fishing hole.
Go, honey,
It was like, man,
go to your left, go right, go left. Yeah, been there. I remember that.
So it was like this whole long song, you know, going with it, and you know, for us, it was always, you know, some kind of a different type of cadence, you know.
We had one drill sergeant named Reddish, and he was probably in his mid 40s then. I'm sure he's long since retired. And he was African American, and he sang Cadence like he was singing the blues. And listening to that man call Cadence was just fantastic. He had such an amazing singing voice, and he would stay. I mean, we would be just in awe listening to this guy called Cadence.
Yeah, there's some definitely guys out there that can do it.
Your left, right, left. Your left, now get in step. It was so cool to hear him call Cadence. Sorry.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of guys that could really sing the cadences like that, and they were just amazing. You know, even down there at some of the ones that we heard down there at the drill field, and even when they got out, you know, you always got these ones that just, no matter where they are, they could just sing these great cadences, and you know, even when we went to the Fort Benning, some of those guys were like what you're saying. Mm-hmm. Just my gosh, they were just, you know, talented guys that could sing those things. Like, like they should be on the radio. Yeah.
Of course, then you had other guys that called it like they were gargling gravel. Your left, your left. Yeah, you had those too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Then every now and then you get that one guy that can't get it. He was just a little bit off, and you're like, "What the hell?"
We had one sergeant like to mess with. I know
exactly what you're saying.
He was a jokester. He'd go, "Your left, your left, your left, left, left." We'd like crashing, trying to keep up. He'd do crap like that just to mess with us. Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, what happened?
I was making enough noise. You wanted to check on me.
What was it? The left that got their attention.
I'm an invalid these days. They worry about me hitting the floor and not being able to get up. Help! I've fallen and I can't reach my beer.
They're like going. I think Dad's in there. The chair keeps going left.
Speaking of which,
what, are you done with that one?
Yeah, finish the Bushmills. Guinness, me boy.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to get the harder drink. I'm gonna have to go from Coke to a cherry Coke. Just kidding.
I about panicked. I thought I lost my bottle opener.
Oh, I'm gonna get the Mike's Hard Lemonade right now. So since I'm not going anywhere tonight,
Awesome.
let me see. Sean says, "Well, gentlemen, I hope you all have a great evening." So thank you,
Sean, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go and get that shot right now.
Oh, you put the Yankee thing back up.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a Cardinals on mine just to piss him off. Either that or sneak in and change it without him knowing. I'd put up something like the Orioles.
Yeah. So the thing that Roger was talking about, so you guys going directly to YouTube, is that happening with Nightmare Hunter, or is that already happening to you?
I'm going to set it up with Nightmare Hunter too, and have it also streamed to my Ozarks Haunted Pathways channel. That way, they're online immediately for anybody to share. So, hopefully, be seeing a lot of videos on my Ozarks Haunted Pathways soon.
Oh, okay, cool. And so that's something that
I'll also still be going out and shooting videos,
like and all that stuff.
Right, absolutely.
We can like it and share it and all that stuff. So,
and it's a lot easier to send a YouTube link than it is to try to send a link to somebody from the Facebook shows, because when Facebook does the live shows, once it's no longer live, they don't let you share it anymore for some reason.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's weird. Facebook's weird.
Yeah. So, have you talked to the boys about the video game anymore?
They're still proceeding at pace.
Any news up for that?
They're still working on getting the framework in place. They're doing a lot of the 3D renderings of characters now. Every once in a while, Adam will send me a message like, "Okay, this is what I've got for this character. How does that look compared to what you had in mind?" And I'll tweak or send them a picture of who I had in mind for the character and stuff like that. So right now they're 3D modeling the characters to get them ready for the game, which is kind of cool.
So
yeah, I do.
They're spending most of their time at Steve's bar, right?
Yeah, probably. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow.
Got the whole scene at Steve's bar.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of it's rendering food.
I think tomorrow so cool though.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to play that game. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, but you got tomorrow's what?
If tomorrow the weather still holds nice, because it's been really nice here lately. I think I'm going to abduct the wife from the house and take a drive down to Branson and get a bite to eat, and then maybe go over and see if I can shoot some footage at Joe Bald, and then maybe
nice.
head over into Arkansas, just kind of drive around for a while. I need to get out of the house.
Tour.
Yeah, I've been out of the house haven't been out of the house for a while. So other than like going to the store.
Does your wife like to get out and run around like that?
Oh yeah, she's more of a gad than I am. I'm pretty content to stay home. About as wild as I get is having a fire in the backyard and sitting by it. That's about as wild as I get. But she likes to travel. So, and I also need to shoot some videos. So I'll probably throw my crap that I need for shooting videos in my rucksack tonight, and get it all packed up, and tomorrow we'll get up fairly early and drive down to Branson and eat some lunch and go shoot some videos, and then spend some money on her and make her happy.
Hey, well, though, that's always a good thing, right?
That's always a fact.
So y'all going to try to go out to where you and Steve went, or in that area?
Yeah, I want to go down there and get some more images. I've got a friend that's working on doing some promo stuff for me, and he needs some stills and some short videos from that area to work with. So, Mike, I'm going to try to get those for you tomorrow, buddy. I haven't had a chance to get down there yet, and hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. I mean, it won't take me 10 minutes to shoot those once I get down to Joe Bald. I've just got to go down there. And the wife's been wanting to eat down in Branson for a while. Now that the restaurants are finally starting to open back up, we can go eat wherever we want.
Yeah. What type of food you guys going to hit up?
I don't know. There's a lot of places in Branson with some really good food, and I think I'll just let her pick, even though that it usually takes forever, because it's usually, where do you want to eat, honey? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Wherever you want to eat's fine with me, honey. Okay, I don't know where I want to eat. So I might just say,
And
"Hey,
then as
honey,
soon as you recommend somebody, someplace that's wrong.
this is what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to start driving down there and go, guess where I'm taking you to eat? And the first place she says, that's where I'm taking her. So I've got it all planned out. Guess where I'm taking you?
Hey, well, let me know if that works.
It probably won't. Not with my wife. She'll see right through it. She'll like, you didn't have a place in mind, did you? I'm like, no.
You can always just say, hey, where do you want to go eat? And then they don't tell you, just pull into the nearest Jack in the Box.
That's right. After almost 30 years together, she sees through my shenanigans pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I think that's kind of their job.
They catch on to the shenanigans pretty quick.
My wife used to tell people when they'd say, "Oh, what's that?"
So now my whole job is to try to figure out new shenanigans.
That's right. I'm constantly looking for new shenanigans. When the boys were little, my people would ask my wife, "How old are your kids?" She goes, "Well, my boys are say 7, 8, 11, and 45." She counted me as one of the kids.
Right.
If you lost sight of
them out there one time that said something about your husband's always going to be your biggest kid.
my thing is, I told her if I didn't grow up by the time I was 50, I don't have to, and I'm 50 now, so I refuse to grow up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen after that.
She has this dream that the books are going to do well enough that we can buy a really nice mobile home and just travel to go to different shows and me write while we camp. I think that'd be fun as hell. Just kind of travel the U.S., spend the winter months in the warm states.
Yeah, that would be fantastic, man. There's some really nice ones out there.
Yeah, there are. There's some that are nicer than the house I live in. Of course, my house was built in the 50s, so there's a lot of them that are nicer than the house I live in.
Well, keep in mind, there's some out there that are $1 million, $2 million plus.
Yes.
So
there is a company out of Nixa, Missouri, which is just 10, 12 miles from here. And let me look up the website, and I will show it to you. They're not just RVs. It's called Global Expedition Vehicles. It's globalexpeditionvehicles.com.
Right. I know which ones you're talking
Global
about.
X Vehicles. Yeah, they make self-sufficient vehicles that will go off the grid. And some of these are built on chassis where you could take them into the backcountry. Yeah. I'm not talking a campground. I'm talking in the ass crack of nowhere. Some of these things are designed to go damn near anywhere. And they're built on these massive truck frames. They come with their own generators, their own water filtration systems. These are survival vehicles. I would love to own one of those.
I've been looking at those for a while. Those are cool.
They're expensive though. Ooh.
Yeah, they're way outside of my.
Yeah, we're talking $500,000.
If it's not a Coleman tent,
Yeah, that's about my price range.
It's a step up from just sleeping on the ground, I guess.
There's one called the Patagonia Extreme, and it is a really neat looking vehicle. It looks like it could go just about anywhere. Let me share the screen.
Right.
This is the Patagonia.
Wow, look at that.
It is a beautiful vehicle.
Oh, yeah, look at that thing.
And it does with those big-ass tires. It looks like it could go anywhere. Let's look at the interior, shall we? Go to models, the Patagonia interior.
Oh, wow, look at them things.
Look at that. That is nicer than my house.
Yeah, you could definitely pop a top in there and then have a good night's sleep.
Have me a little area where I could set up a computer and have my little writing area, and yeah, you could do everything by satellite. Oh yeah, they make RV satellites that allow you to get like satellite TV and internet wherever you're
Correct,
going.
right.
You just get it mounts to the roof of your RV, and you get like a book of codes, and you just punch in the code, and it automatically adjusts to where it needs to be for wherever you're located. You just punch in like your satellite coordinates, your GPS coordinates, and it takes it from there. Man, that is really neat.
That's all right, man. That's just a couple more books, man.
The Patagonia
After Blood Eagle, after Blood Eagle, man, that'll be in your parking lot, or in your driveway.
If I had one of those over here where you see these mountains, I would probably have those removed and then have a wrap put on it with my logo from my books, so I could take that to conventions. It looked like it'd be taking an armored vehicle into these towns.
It does, but it does look like something out of Wild Hunt.
Look at the base price. Ouch. Base price is $550,000. It's a lot of books.
That's just one more book, and that's a lot of bologna sandwiches.
Yeah. It had better be able to go anywhere because I'm going to be living in it. Well, that's it. That's Global X Vehicles, and they make some amazing stuff. I'm just astounded by some of these. They make smaller ones too. I mean, if it's just you and say your wife, or they make smaller vehicles that are designed for just two people. But that Patagonia looks like it could probably sleep 4 to 6.
Those have gotten really, really popular in the last few years.
It looks like something that I would have.
You know what's gotten real popular out here is the rooftop tents.
Mm-hmm.
They're super popular out here. You see them everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're off the ground, but you're on top of your vehicle, your SUV, or your van, or your truck. Hey, Wildman came back.
Here's Wapo. He's leaving again.
And he's gone again.
Oops. He forgot his wine coolers.
He's over there. He just wanted to show the rear view for the ladies in the audience.
Yeah.
I missed the commentary.
Roger says that'd be really cool. Hope you're able to do that one day. I would love to. I would love to just have one of those to travel, to go do shows, show up at conventions. Hell, I could be content living in one. I mean, I don't need a whole lot of stuff. Never have. Granted, I've got a lot of places. As long as I got a place to
think of the places that you could go to, though, and investigate in that thing.
Oh, yeah. That thing could go anywhere. Yeah, that would just be awesome. And the beauty of that is if you had one of those, you could put solar collectors all along the roof of that thing and just about power everything in it with just solar.
Excuse me.
Oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Louis says, looks like British Army pictures of my house. And did Roger get lost?
Yeah, I think I did. Well, that was one.
You already chugging them down, trying to catch up.
This is the original. I'm going to save that one.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the hard strawberry lemonade.
You wild man, you.
I'm able to detect your sarcasm. Am I supposed to get gas from this?
Salud.
Salud.
Slanja.
Vastroya. Is this mixing drinks? You're like, dude, fruit punch and Kool-Aid.
I'm not a huge fan of certain types of beers. But my friend Andy's favorite was Hefeweizen. I may have to go pick up a 6 of Hefeweizen.
I don't know if you got that post from Jonathan Miller on our YouTube page. It's never appropriate. No,
I think it would scare them, but it's one of those things that gauge it. I wouldn't tell like a 5-year-old, but when you get kids that are old enough to want to go out camping on their own, they might want to be aware of what's out there. Up to you, and definitely if they're going to be in an area where you think there's going to be something like that, because I don't think they're everywhere. I think they're very selective of where they frequent. But just use your best judgment and let them know that it's a legitimate danger.
Yeah, don't do what I did and introduce your movies to Starship Troopers when they're 5 and 8 respectively.
That is a much better book than it ever was a movie.
I understand that. Robert A. Heinlein, yes, he is a phenomenal author.
Heinlein's my favorite sci-fi author, bar none. Bar none.
How many of his books did you read?
I've read most of them.
Oh, I have not. I read the D.A. Roberts novels. But as you know, I'm a Tom Clancy fan.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm super selective. I read the Star Trek novels. I've read probably about 100 of them. Mm-hmm. And Tom Clancy, I've read religious books, quite a few, but more for theology purposes, just for my own knowledge. I am into history, entomology, geography, stuff like that. So all that stuff that ties in together. And that's why I study a lot of languages and religious background.
My 2 favorite Star Wars authors are John M. Ford and Michael Jan Friedman.
Hey, methinks you may have read Michael Jan Friedman.
Yes, I have.
You're welcome. And he will be on again. All we got to do is ask him. He's great, man. Michael Jan Friedman is really a cool guy.
Oh, yeah. I liked the time I was on with him. Very nice guy. And, considering his following compared to mine, I really felt at ease talking to him. He didn't act like, I wasn't in the club, so to speak. And I've met authors that treated me that way. Big names. I won't name any names. But I've had a few that basically told me I was no better than a fan fiction writer. One in particular.
Yeah, well, some people just really don't deserve the throne.
That's a fact. But at least I don't. At least I don't.
The ivory throne.
At least I don't look like a pedophile version of Skipper from the Gilligan's Island.
That was a fairly accurate attack. Wow. I'm gonna drink up to that one. Hey, you know what? I drank that first one way too fast.
You already feeling it, are you, Raj?
I'm stupid. I don't drink. Oh, we got another like. That's all I know. And it is a like from Tyler Marshall. Woohoo!
Tyler, thank you, buddy. Tyler, if you're listening, tonight's show is dedicated to Hammer.
As a matter of fact, DA, my brother, by putting the double X, he's referring to Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
Yeah. When I drink, I drink.
Roger, the most interesting man in the world.
Oh, sure. Yeah. The other Royer, that one that I'm talking about. God, those commercials were great, weren't they? The most interesting man in the world. They were funny, man.
Yeah, I love those commercials.
It's a shame that they got rid of them, or they retired them.
Thanks, Tyler. He was my first FTO. Everything I learned about being an officer, I learned from him and Brian Forrester.
FTO?
Yeah, he was my first FTO, field training officer. Everything I tried to teach to the younger officers, everything I tried to be, I learned from him. And I'm I am deeply going to miss that man. And I'm going to get choked up if I keep talking about it.
You're among friends, pal. It's all good. And if you are getting choked up about it, it's because it's worth it. It means something. And you know how it goes. When you stop talking about it, that's when the memory, that's when the person, that's when the soul is no longer with us. So you keep talking about it, man.
He was genuinely one of the funniest people I knew. That guy could crack me up. You remember the old show with Living Color? Jim Carrey's character, Fire Marshal Bill?
Sure.
Oh my God, he sounded just like him. did the face and everything. Let me show you something. Oh, he used to crack me up. Oh my God.
Yeah, that guy was wild, of course. Jim Carrey. Oh my goodness. By the way, gentlemen, I am on page 140. 141. So that's where I'm at. And for those of you that know and don't know, if DA, may I read one paragraph?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right, folks, said Clark. Teams of 3 from here on out. Stick together and stay alert. We don't know what we're walking into. The Wendigo could be at the cave, or they could be waiting in the trees for us. We're unable to locate them on motion sensors, and thermal isn't showing us anything useful. That was a little 15-second teaser, folks. That would have been a commercial. Guys saying, we can't detect them, we can't see them, we're
They could be anywhere.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything else, but there was a tiny vibe.
I think that was a good ad for it.
Oh, appreciate that, Robert. Yeah, it was a particular, yeah. Hey, DA, that just might be that one paragraph. And it's right there in the middle of page 140.
Now I'm going to go read the book again.
That is something that has astounded me about people that have read my books. I talk to people all the time that have not just read them once, but have read them multiple times. And that is, as an author, that's the greatest tribute you can hope to get. That people enjoyed your books so well, so much they want to read them again and again. And I am just so deeply humbled by that. I mean, to be considered one of their favorite authors, or in some cases, people tell me that I'm their favorite author. And at my heart of hearts, I'm just a farm kid from north of Lebanon, Missouri. But to think that books I wrote have gone that far and have affected people is just an incredible experience for me. And it's deeply humbling. Thank you guys very much.
Well, the thing about it is you read them and there's so much detail in them. And there's little things that you throw in there that you may not or may catch. And so, like I said, I've read every one of them. And so I'm now backing through and reading them again. Because in the process, after reading them, we got on the Facebook page, and then you're listening to the blogs, or you're a part of that. And you start understanding about how some of these places were written, into it, and the people and all those things. And now you've got this interest because I remember finding out that these were actual places, and I think it was after me and you were talking about after the Horned Moon one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like going, so I was like looking back at everything, and I'm like, my God, these are actual real places. And I think it was something that I actually watched on your show, one of your shows too. And so you're looking it up and you're like, damn, these are actual, you can look up at that restaurant, you can look up this bar, you can look up, these tourist areas and how they were used. And then you can get pictures of it and overview of it on Google Maps. And you're like, okay, yeah, they just walked into a shit show right there. You know what I'm saying? And then, and then all the little things that after we talked, and you realize that, hey, did you catch this little nuance in there? And did you catch this? Are you going to see it again? And you're like going, Ah, crap! Now I do got to read them all again just to go back and catch that stuff.
You know, Robert, I agree with that. I'm not sure where it was. It might have been somewhere in the third book, or maybe the second book, where he mentioned a particular intersection. And obviously, I think it's in the third book, the stadium, is it not?
Mhm.
Or is that the fourth book of the original five books?
Fourth.
Oh,
Okay,
right,
to the
right.
fourth
You're talking about Ragnarok.
And when they're in the
Yeah.
Cardinals Stadium.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was there or in the third book, but you'd mentioned a particular intersection. I looked it up. I'm like, hey, son of a bitch, it's real. And I did tell DA, and I think I mentioned this when we interviewed him for the last book, back then, book 5, that I followed their story as he's making his way through Springfield. And, you know, the author always paints a picture for us, and it's always left to our imagination. But it was interesting that since it was based on real locations, not all of them, but a lot of it was, imagining it and then seeing it, it changed it all. It was really, that was a unique.
It does.
Yes. That it's interesting how we can envision it, because you as an author invite us to come and play, and that's where our imagination takes over. And we saw it, but then when we realize that it's in a real place that we've never been there, it's kind of cool. You can actually see it, and it's really cool. My brother mentioned aliens. Yes, there's a tiny vibe of aliens and maybe even Predator in this book right now. I've gotten a kick out of it, but that's all I want to say. So,
Curse of the Wendigo was fun to write because I really got to cut loose. They were against something. They were fighting something that I hadn't really got to cut loose against, like since I wrote Ragnarok. This was an unrelenting monster that everything they threw at it wasn't stopping it, and I really got to just let them go, let them explore and try to find ways to hurt these things. So they got to get creative and they got to unleash some pure hell on these things just to see what would work. And it was a lot of fun to write because I got to play with a lot of different things.
I'm expecting someone, if not Margolin, to say something about, hey, isn't the enemy of my enemy still my enemy, but my friend or something? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that's all I'm going to say.
Roger, thank you. He says, I'm not much of a reader, but I can read through one of your books in a day or two. Then I can't wait for the next. I think it's safe to say you're definitely my favorite author. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. That means the world to me. It really does. I still feel like, I'm just playing in a bigger field than out of my league. My son calls it the imposter syndrome when you don't feel like you really belong. And I'll probably always feel that way to a degree. I
don't understand why. Look at what you're doing tonight. Look at what happens on Monday night. Look at All Tower Media on Sunday. Look at your website. Look at your Facebook page. DA, laugh yourself, grateful that you sleep every night. But, God damn it, will you shut up and take some credit?
I can't take
Why
all the
are we
credit.
here? No. I never said take all the credit.
I
said,
can't.
will you shut up and take some credit?
It has been a team effort. I mean, my wife and my sons have pushed and helped. Every one of you have helped. I mean, people that talk about my books and tell other people about them, that's an unbelievable help. You don't know. This has been a journey that I've had so much company on, and it's been an amazing one that I hoped I can continue for many years to come. And I'm blessed to have so many people joining me on it.
Well, you got to look at it too, though. Is how many authors do you really know that cranked out? Was it 21, 22 books now? In 10 years,
it'd be 22 when this one will come out.
In 10 years, brother. And I'm actually a guy, and I know people don't believe it, but I've actually read thousands of books. Over my long Yeah, I mean, it's just I've read a lot of series. I mean, me and DA's talked about this.
Yeah.
I've been reading since I was very young, and my family can vouch for me. I've got boxes of books. I used to go in the library and just read. It was a good escape. And
Robert, did you
and,
ever read?
and yes, sir.
I'm sorry. I think I've already had too much to drink. Did you ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Choose Your Own Adventure books.
I read those.
Don't know.
Yeah, in the late 70s, they started out
I'm not
Edward
too
Packard
sure.
and R.A. Montgomery. What you do is each book has a different flavor or storyline where you control your destiny. And you would read a few pages, and then you would come upon a point where you would say, okay, do you take the fork to the left, the one to the center, or to the one to the right? Or do you just sit down? And you would just turn to that page, and it would continue the story, and you would be allowed to choose your own story, choose your own adventure. And they had multiple endings. I was just curious because we seem about the same age. I think maybe you're a bit tad younger, but Choose Your Own Adventure books. I read about 200 of those. Those were awesome. The first one I read was A Third Planet from Altair. That's the first one I read, and I was hooked. It was awesome. I died on the water moon, my first adventure. Damn it. On one of the moons of Altair.
That's funny.
Yeah, I drowned.
What's a link? Can I get a link?
I just sent him one.
Oh, well, what's that link for?
Cool.
For the show?
Oh, you sent me a message. I'm sorry. I think I've already had a little too much. At any time, if it gets to be too much, just tell me. Leave.
You'll be fine. It's the intoxication hunter.
The inebriated hunter.
We're, you know us. We'll greatly appreciate any entertainment we can get.
When Roger falls out of the chair, I swear I'm going to capture that section and use it.
It's not going to happen.
Welcome, sir.
How you doing, Rich?
I'm doing fine. How you guys doing?
All alive and kicking so far, but it's early.
I mean, it's hard to tell through your slurred speech.
What's that?
It's hard to tell with your slurred speech.
My speech is slurred?
No, I'm just kidding you.
Okay.
Roger said he might have too much to drink.
Only had like one whiskey and two beers. Well, not even two beers, a beer and a half.
Well, I'm just busting your balls. That's all I'm doing. Don't take no offense. Don't take no offense from it.
No, not at all. Jonathan Miller says this was great, guys. I'm tapping out. Got to be up early. Thanks for keeping it real, Dogman 2024. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. You have a great night. Be safe.
Adam Shepard gave us a like. Want to drink to him?
Adam is one of the guys behind the video game, and also one of the two guys that analyzed the video where we got the Dogman encounter.
Did he verify it?
Yes, he went back out there and filmed in the exact same spot where we were at and verified how tall it would have had to have been and to be outside the tree at that point. So he's gone back and double checked. There were no bushes or trees there that it could have been. Yeah, there was no bushes or any other trees that it could have been.
So is there any way you can get that, I don't know, authenticized? I haven't been drinking, but I can't still speak.
Authenticated?
Yes, thank you very much.
I don't know where we could send it to get it authenticated.
You sound like how I feel.
That was a goofy laugh.
I'm sorry.
I liked it. But I don't know where we would send it to get authenticated. I know that I've done nothing to alter the video. All I did was shoot a video promoting Lakeview Man and uploaded it to YouTube. So that if there's anything in it, I didn't put it there. And it was shot on my phone.
I didn't know if you could send it to like some place like when they try to get sports stuff authorized and get like paperwork with it saying this is the actual picture of Dogman.
Oh, there's there's actually quite a few people that do that and are able to do it. You know what Josh did, and I guess what Jonathan did as well. Anyone can do it with the video. Yeah. So and if anyone wants to debunk it, the
Oh,
video's there.
Yeah,
They can
the
do
video
it,
is up.
and that's the beauty of it.
The video is on my Ozarks Haunted Pathways channel on YouTube. The same channel where this video will be posted. Actually, it's streaming live right now on YouTube to the same channel. So if you want to look at the video, isolate it, see if it's been altered in any way. Please, if by all means, knock yourselves out, pull the video up, see what you see, and you can compare it to the frames we had. We didn't see it when we shot the video. We didn't go out there looking for it. I was just basically talking about the old abandoned park and the upcoming books that Lakeview Man and other books that I was writing in the area. And when they brought that image out, it terrified us. I mean, it freaked us out because to think that we were that close to it. But if you guys want to analyze the video independently, take a look at it. By all means, we'd be more than willing to have you on the show and talk about it if you want to bring it on. Because if there's nothing there, I'm fine with that. I mean, to be honest, I'll sleep a little better knowing there was nothing there.
Oh no,
that picture. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine.
That kind of sent chills up my spine because I could actually see it, and it's like, okay, as far as I know, that's the first real dogman I've ever seen, or even close to a Bigfoot sighting that could be true. So, I mean, it's really weird that, like you said, you got that picture, you didn't know it at the time, that you could have been dinner, and
Well, we would have been crunchy dinner. We'd have been dinner with teeth of its own, because if it would have come after us, it would have gotten shot multiple times, guaranteed. We might not have won, but we wouldn't have went down without a fight, because Steve was carrying a baby Glock 40, the Glock 27, and I was carrying a Glock 17 full frame loaded with hollow points, law enforcement grade hollow points. So if it'd come after us, I'd have rained hell down on it.
I
believe that.
I told DA that the reality is that those creatures recognized who he was, and they're like, this guy is selling us out. Should we
get that guy?
Yeah, he's giving up too many of our secrets. That's what.
Well, when you look at the image in black and white, you can clearly see there's something there. And it's sticking out beside that tree. And when Adam went back, that tree, there's nothing behind it for 30 yards. There are no other trees or vegetation behind it, and that is right next to that tree. There was nothing he could find that would even closely resemble it. And it's one of those things we don't know. We weren't planning on shooting anything like that. And this is the image that really kind of freaks me out, because you can see its arm and what looks like claws touching the side of the tree with this dog-like head.
That's what tells it is that hand. My gosh, that thing looks like, I mean, it looks real enough, and it looks like it could do some massive damage. But with the enhancement, I'm sorry to interrupt. You're fine. But for me, being kind of a skeptic, it's like, holy crap, that's it. I mean,
if that was somebody out there trying to pull a prank on us, one, it was a dangerous thing to do, because Steve and I were both armed, and I know people in Missouri, shot. I know people in Missouri. Most of us are armed, and two, we were in the butt crack of nowhere. The nearest house was miles away, clear outside of that park. So if somebody was down there was no vehicles down there, because we drove through the whole area. They were down there on the hope that somebody would show up so they could scare them.
Okay. I have the first suggestion in your books.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to use, we were in the butt crack of nowhere.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, but it's not in your books. So you're going to have to say it. Instead of BFE or instead of the boonies, you're going to say, we are in the butt crack of America. Hey, can you also get America's Wang in one of your books? Just kidding.
Possibly.
You know, folks, where America's Wang famously showed up from. Homer Simpson, when he took a look at the map of the United States and he looked at Florida, he said, is that America's Wang?
Makes sense.
It does. It does. Oh, my goodness.
Well,
we got another like.
Oh, awesome.
This cool. One was Tony Konopka. We salute you, Tony.
Gracias.
Yeah. No, never mind. Can I ask you something,
Sure.
DA?
Shoot.
Remember, I don't know which show, but you showed that picture of Bigfoot and it had that red arrow, and you thought, okay, you remember that picture?
I think so.
I mean, because it was a Bigfoot sighting, and I think you were saying he wasn't tall enough, but it had a red arrow in the picture pointing to this Bigfoot creature. And of course, you debunked it. But where that was shot was here in Ohio,
Really?
in Salt Fork State Park, and it's known for its Bigfoot sightings.
Mm-hmm.
It is also the home of the biggest Bigfoot festival in the world.
Really?
Yes, it is.
That
And
would
it's
be
the southeastern part of Ohio. So you will run into some kind of deliverance, people. Be careful. You start hearing
Down there
banjo
where
music, you might
the
hear
men are many
banjo
and the sheep
music.
run scared.
What's that?
Down where the men are many and the sheep run scared.
That probably. I mean, Southern Ohio is just too close to West Virginia. So, and it's also, other side of the Appalachian Mountains. But anyway, when I was doing my Ohio Bigfoot sighting thing, and that thing came up, and I recognized that picture, but I didn't know if you were aware that was done here in Ohio. That video where they saw the so-called Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know that was in Ohio, but that's awesome.
But then I found out that that's what that state park is known for, is sightings. And then I read, what? It's the biggest festival in the world? And I'm thinking, okay. But what does that mean? Does that mean 25 people show up? I don't know what that means.
Well, I know.
And they actually have people that will take you on tours or camping trips to look for Bigfoot in the state park. It's their business.
I know the one in Oklahoma, at Honnebe, Oklahoma. I've been in email contact with the people that put that Bigfoot festival on, and they estimate between 4,000 and 5,000 people show up over the course of the week.
Where's Honnebe?
It's in southeastern Oklahoma, down in the Kiamichi Mountains, which are butted right up against the Wachitas. It's spelled Honobia. It looks like Hanobia, but our Oklahoma pronunciations, like Miami being what they are, they pronounce it Honnebe.
Did you give me a city? I'm looking at a map of southeast
Oklahoma. It's
I see it.
Yeah,
I see it. Honobia.
It's a big Bigfoot festival. They said they've got campouts.
Dude, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is in the middle of nowhere. But they say between 4,000 and 5,000 people show up to that.
Wow.
So if that one in Ohio is bigger, if it's the biggest one in the world, it's probably got quite a few people.
I'm sorry.
If you could,
I was thinking you might want to use that location in one of your books.
Oh heck yeah! But if you could get me the information on that festival, I might get a hold of them, see if I could go there and sell books. That'd be a great place to go.
Oh, you're always the marketing man. I know that.
Got to be looking for an angle, man.
Yep, you're true. That's
Hey,
word.
You guys know you're in the middle of nowhere, Honobia, where the east to west highway is 144 and the north to south highway is 144. Look it up on Google. I'm not kidding.
They are truly in the butt crack of nowhere down there. That is some rural, rugged territory.
Dude,
that's
why
I chose
homes.
That's why I chose the Wachita Mountains for Wild Hunt 1, because it is just that remote. I mean, there are places out there where you could be 10 miles from the nearest road. And not the nearest town, the nearest road.
Okay.
Do you know that Broken Bow, Oklahoma, is kind of a little bit to the southeast? Mm-hmm. And for those of you Star Trek fans, Broken Bow is where Star Trek Enterprise debuted its first episode, in Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
That's kind of cool.
Wow.
I had to put Star Trek in there.
Mr. Knowledge himself.
The Honnebe Bigfoot Festival is I believe it's in October. And I'm already booked for the Cumberland Bigfoot Festival on October 16th. That one's in eastern Kentucky, eastern Tennessee, in Crossville, Tennessee. And I'm going to be doing that. but I want to get booked for the Hanabi Festival because we'll take a camper down there and set up and sell books all week, hopefully, because it's a multiple day festival, whereas the one in Tennessee is a single day. But if there's a big one in Ohio, I would love to find out about it so I could see if I could get vendor space.
I didn't see when it's done, but I know that was when I was looking up Bigfoot sightings in Ohio, so I could actually add something to the show besides nonsense. But so I thought I'd bring that to your attention because I didn't know anything about it, and plus, this small backwards place has the biggest festival. So I didn't know there was a competition. I didn't know there was I didn't even know there were festivals. I knew
there's lots of Bigfoot festivals all over the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, it's a much bigger, more widespread thing than people realize. There's some big events, and a lot of them are campouts, like they do it in the campgrounds, and people come and set up their motorhomes and RVs, and people like me would set up a tent, like an awning, and sell books, or some people sell T-shirts and stuff. But there's also a lot of symposiums where they have people set up, like they'll have people come up and talk about their encounters. They'll have known cryptozoologists come up and talk about different things. Dr. Jeff Meldrum goes to a lot of them and talks about the morphology of Bigfoot footprints. Some of them are big deals, drawing thousands and thousands of people.
Well, then you might want to look into that Salt Lake, because that would probably, if that's if the one that you know about is 5,000, who knows how many more people would want to buy your books at that festival.
Yeah, I'm always looking for venues like that, and I love the cryptids. I love anything with cryptids, and I think it'd be a great venue for me to set up. This one is the Ohio Bigfoot Conference is on May 16th in Coshocton, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now hold on. That's my birthday, and Coshocton's only 20 minutes from me.
Well, on May 16th, an all-day event in Coshocton is the Ohio Bigfoot Conference.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing that day.
Heck yeah.
I can do live report for NDV.
Well, there you go. Take a lot of pictures
live.
for us.
Yeah, take some pictures, talk to some people.
Coshocton.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's just 20 minutes south of us here, where I live.
Well, they're going to have. There's another one called. Oh, I think this is the same one. They call it the Sasquatch Triangle Conference, and they're going to have some known cryptozoologists: Don Keating, Shane Corson, George Workman, and Kane Michael. Kane Michael, while I don't know him personally, I'm familiar with his work. He's the real deal. He knows a lot of stuff, and that's at Coshocton. They'll all be there talking about different encounters they've had. So that would be.
Do you want me to show him your Dogman picture?
Oh God, yeah.
I mean, I'd be happy to try to get his attention and try to hope he's not thinking I'm some guy with a tinfoil on my head.
Hey, dude, just walk in with your beard and you'll be fine. But I found Coshocton on Google. I'm proud of myself. I found it.
Did you?
According to their Facebook page, Coshocton looks like it's going to be a good time.
Well, it's not. It's like I said, it's only 20 minutes south of me, so I can get there in no time. But so I'll look more into it for you, and I'll make plans to go.
Well, I'll
and
give you.
If you want me to do some footage for later, I'll do what I can, and I'll try and talk to some of these fancy people.
This should give you an indication. 16,590 people have expressed interest.
Oh my gosh! I'll be fighting the crowds.
Might be a good crowd there.
Right. So what do you do? What are you doing that day?
Well, I'm going to talk to my wife. If we can get books in, I might see if I can go.
16,000 people.
Yeah, I could
buy your books.
If I could sell books to 16,000 people, that'd be a hell of a day.
But seriously, if you come up, we can meet up and. I mean, we can meet each other, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
If you'd want that, I'm not trying to pressure you.
Oh no, I definitely would love it. I'll sit down and have a cup of coffee with you. That'd be awesome.
And then we can talk. I mean, then we can try and get the attention of those.
What's that?
Fancy.
Where are y'all talking about now?
It's a
Sorry,
Bigfoot
I just
conference
walked
in
back
Coshocton,
Where y'all talking
Ohio.
about?
Hickville, USA.
A Bigfoot conference in
Okay,
Coshocton, Ohio. Apparently, they have their own website, ohiobigfoot.com.
I'll be back, gentlemen.
I wish he'd get slow max.
We lost Roger.
Well, yeah, you don't take his slow max.
I think he's getting coffee to sober up.
Okay, that's one way of putting it.
Well, there you go.
How much did you miss? Because we were talking about the big conference in Coshocton next month, and DA was talking about coming up and trying to sell some books if it's possible.
If I can get books ordered in time, I might see if we can do it.
So that's what we were talking. I don't know how much you missed, but
that would definitely be a good place to go. Yeah, that's where I heard something about this the Bigfoot conference and going up and selling books, but I didn't know exactly where it was.
Well, they have these conferences all over the U.S. I don't know where they're all at, but if you guys ever hear of any, definitely send me the information on it. As I know about the one in Hanobia or Hanabi, I'm planning to try to go to that. And it's
is that the Oklahoma one?
Yeah, that's southeast Oklahoma. That one's 6 hours from here, so that's fairly close. And the one that I'm already planning to go to in eastern Tennessee is, I think, 8 hours from here. So that's going to be more than a day trip. My wife and I are going to drive up the day before, stay at a hotel, do the show, probably spend the night, then drive back the next morning. So we'll probably spend a couple of nights there. And that'd be a great place. I mean, it's in the mountains of Tennessee. It'd be a great place to shoot some videos too. So I will definitely do that. Yeah. I want to get one of those rigs.
It's got to be a beautiful place.
Yeah, I bet it is. I want to get one of those rigs that a lot of YouTubers use. You wear it around your neck and it mounts your phone right here, and you can either have it facing forward and filming as you walk and talk, and it moves with you, or it keeps it, or you can angle it down and it stays on your face while you walk and talk. But I don't really want to have my face blaring on the camera too much. I would rather have it facing what I'm looking at. So I may look into getting one of those. I don't think they're that expensive. I've got a tripod that I use for cell phone videos now. I don't have expensive cameras. I don't have any expensive gear. But I would like to get some nice cameras in the future if I keep doing these videos.
That one that you were talking about wearing around your neck, that sounds pretty cool.
They've got them on Amazon.
Just have it film as you walk, and then you won't miss anything.
Yeah, and since I have to walk with a cane anyway, it's better to have my hands free.
That is very true. You don't want to drop your camera after you got a shot of Bigfoot.
But the irony is if I wind up in a wheelchair, I'll just mount a stable mount to the wheelchair.
There you go.
I can just wheel around with the camera mounted to the chair.
Yeah, there you go.
Always look on the bright side.
But I don't want you in a wheelchair.
I don't either. But I'm not ruling it out at this point.
I know. You talked about your health, but maybe you can get a scooter. That way you can just plow people over while you're taking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I always said that if I did wind up in one, I want to get one of the ones with tracks. Then I can still go fishing and hunting because they'll go anywhere.
Yeah, those things are badass.
Heck yeah! If you're going to be stuck in a chair, that's the one to be stuck in.
Author over there. It'd be like
the DA tank. I've got a buddy that's got a tactical shop. I'd go out and pull pieces off at one at a time and go, okay, make this piece out of Kydex. Now make this piece out of Kydex. And that would be the only molded Kydex chair in existence. That way I could put holsters everywhere.
With a rifle mount.
No kidding. Stable mount for the rifle so I could lean over.
You know, some kind of a pivot piece for your Caltech.
Oh, yeah. Have a sheath on the side where I can just drop the Caltech in it.
Yeah. Going old Calvary style.
Heck yeah. The original wheelchair horse.
Yeah. I think I sent that one to you about the motorcycle that had the rifle holster on it.
Yeah, that was pretty slick.
Sheath.
I always before
Yeah.
my injury, I wanted to custom build a sheath that would mount to the webbing on the side of my rucksack, where I could just put the Keltec in it and grab it when I needed it and not have to carry it. I've got the design in my head. I just never built it.
Right.
I don't think it'd be that tough to build.
No, and there's a lot of there's places out here because of the being next to the military base, and so what happens is a lot of these old school parachute riggers, the guys that do all the the packing of the parachutes and then the repairs, and these guys are like just phenomenal. They can sew the hell out of anything for this stuff.
Oh,
you know. And so they all get together and they start making all this gear, and they've got the machinery to do it, and that's who's making all this crazy gear that you see all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so if you got some kind of design, there's definitely some folks out there that can do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's all kinds of fabrication places that if you can design it, they'll build it. It might cost you a little bit, but you'll get your design built.
Right.
Oh, Roger's back.
Yeah, they were making. Hey, there he is. Is he asleep?
El Guapo.
Someone else gave us a like.
Oh, danke. Danke schon.
Larry
Doctor comes back
Phelps.
when we get a like.
Larry Phelps. I think I'm going to stop drinking.
I'm trying to figure it out, Roger, whether we get the like when you leave or when you come back.
It's when I leave.
That's funny.
I need to stop drinking. That's the chair.
What?
You need to get up the WD-40 and hit those springs.
I've been told, and I haven't done it. I do have the redneck repair tape, though.
There you go.
But I don't have the WD-40. What's that called? What do you guys call it? What does your kin refer to it as?
WD-40.
Oh, well, if you call it electrical tape, redneck repair tape, I figured you... Yeah, that one. I figured you had a code for WD-40 as well.
No, just WD-40. It's already pretty short.
Yeah. It's only a click away, Roger.
There are people that make all kinds of stuff out of duct tape. My sister,
redneck KY.
Redneck KY.
I'm going in.
I've had too much to drink. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine, Roger.
I really felt it right there. Oh my God. I don't drink that much. I rarely ever drink, and I've already gone through 2 of these. I'm into my 3rd one.
Your daughter's going to have to help you to bed.
She's out and about.
So who was talking to you? I heard somebody a second ago.
That was the pizza delivery guy.
I apologize. My compatriot, one of the tax repairers of the firm, visited. So we were taking care of are taking care of some tax items.
Roger,
did
you and Big Dog have a good time?
He's a pussy. We're actually going to go tomorrow morning, now that I think about that. We were going to go.
Put it off again?
Yeah, because he said something about, it was already late. So we went out for breakfast. I think we finished at breakfast at around 12:30. And then we called it. And we're going to go tomorrow. We're going to meet over at Frank and Sons at 9:30.
Okay.
It's a huge collectible place. They have everything. It is a young man's Toys R Us. Combination comic book store, collectible store, model store, arts and crafts store. That's what Frankensons is here in Southern California.
Oh, it has. Now I know why he wants to go if it has comics.
I used to build models all the time when I was younger. I'd like to get back into it. I'd like to start building like World War II aircraft and things like that. I used to be pretty good at it.
Yeah. I think I painted them once or twice. I enjoyed keeping them in the color that they were in, the gray color. I don't know why.
Well, the trick to painting them well is to scuff the plastic a little bit, then primer it, and then spray paint it whatever color. If I was going to do like a P-51 Mustang, I would do that, and then I would paint it with a metallic silver, so it would look like the shined aluminum of a P-51.
The only model that I ever painted was the monogram USS Voyager. I purchased it, I had it, I did it, and my nephew, that rat bastard, came over and broke it. And I told my sister, I'm going to put it away. She goes, no, he won't. Yes, he will. And it quicker than I can say, yes, he will, the little rat bastard got it and broke it.
You're not bitter, are you, Roger?
Do you know how much that model goes for now?
Mm-mm.
It's like $500.
Damn.
If you go to eBay right now and do a search for the USS Voyager from Star Trek, the monogram model, I'm actually going there as we speak. Yeah, that's not monogram.
Did you type mammogram?
I don't think I even typed that. Let me see. Monogram USS Voyager. Oh, wow. Nah. There's some for, wow. I guess the price has dropped a bit. There's the Revell version on a Revell monogram. Actually, the prices have come down. They're like $100, 150, 97, 117, 76.
Not bad.
They're going for a lot more. But anyway. Oh, maybe I was thinking of the Bandai one. $390, $1,000. Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. For the model of the USS Voyager, yeah, it goes for a lot of money.
I used to build military aircraft, ships, tanks, and cars. I mean, I built all kinds of model kits. I had dozens of them. I mean, I did it all the time. And when I left for the Army, my dad boxed them all up and gave them all away, and they were gone.
That's messed up, homie Claus.
I had some ones I really put some time in. One of my favorites was a B-52 that I built. It was massive. It had a wingspan of about 4 feet. It was hung from I'd set it up where I hung it by fishing line from the ceiling. It looked really good.
That sounds pretty damn cool right there.
There were hours and hours in that B-52.
My brother did quite a few models as well, and I'm sure he'll accuse me of having broken some of them.
The hard part about making the models look realistic, not looking like this is a model kit, looking like a replica, is once you've got them put together, you go back over them very, very, very tediously with an X-Acto knife and shave off the sharp edges and the little gaps between the plastic where it was glued together. You fill those gaps in with putty and then smooth it down before you paint it. That takes a lot of work to get that right. And that B-52 looked like it could have been sitting on some colonel's desk somewhere. It was beautiful. I spent weeks on that thing. Makes me sad to wonder whatever happened to that thing.
Yeah. What is the most complex model that you ever put together?
The most complex model? I built a moving model with electric engines of the Bismarck. It was about 4 feet long. The guns would rotate, and it had a little electric motors in it. You could put it in water, and it would sail. I only did that once. It almost sank. because it wasn't really built well for being on water. It was really more of a showpiece. And I built Bismarck and painted the guns. I mean, I haven't had the individual barrels painted. The little seaplanes that are mounted to the back, those were painted to the right specifications. That one probably took me the better part of 2 months to build. And it sat on my dresser for years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was a big bastard, too. It was probably 4 feet long.
Wow.
Have you ever looked up some of the ships or battleships, and then like there's folks that make them like the size of like canoes?
Oh yeah.
You know, and then they get into it, and it looks like the replica. Only the guy is sitting in the middle of the daggum thing and driving them around all over the lake.
There are people that build.
It's incredible,
and they're like 6-8 feet long. They build these kits. And instead of having, they've got movable guns. I mean, the guns will move independently of each other.
And they fire, right?
The guns will fire pellets.
I've seen that.
They will go out on water and have mock battles with these things. They shoot the shit out of those things. It's pretty impressive. They're remote controlled. The guys will be up on shore like, come on, come on.
Sounds like fun.
It would be a hoot and a half to do it.
I mean, you're talking about the video game that they're trying to do right now, the Apex Predator. But one of my buddies is really into the computer game of the ships, with the battleships and all that stuff. World War II.
Yeah,
the graphics on that thing. It was like watching the Battle of Midway. It's insanity.
It's a World of Warships.
And they got one.
Yes.
And then my son plays that, and he also plays World of Tanks. Yeah, he's really good at the World of Tanks. I mean, he's like a freaking sniper.
Yeah, it's insanity how much, and then what some of that stuff costs to even get into it, and between the tanks or the battleships and all that stuff. Yeah.
Well, there's one of the bands I listen to a lot when I write. Is a Norwegian band called Sabaton, and they play all of their music. Every song they write is about a historical battle, and that's one of the things I really love about the band. Literally every song they write is about a battle that took place sometime in history. They do all historical battle songs, and they're all very, very, very very powerful, strong songs. So I write those a lot. I'm listening to them a lot when I write combat scenes. So they're a great band to listen to when I do that. But they've got one song about Bismarck, and the video of that was actually all footage taken from battles of that game, World of Warships, and the video looks like the real deal. I mean, it looks like they got footage. It's pretty impressive. And it was all footage captured from that video game.
Just out of curiosity, DA, what are some of the other battles that you would remember from this group right now? In addition to sinking of the Bismarck, what else?
They've got several battles during World War I and II. There's ones about Bastogne. I'll just pull up some.
Oh, sure. The December 1944. Yeah, I've studied 1925 through 1946 quite a bit. As a matter of fact, I have written for many people. Let's see, the Battle of Midway, for one. I've written about 8 reports, and 7 of them received an A. 1 of them received a B, and it was a high school teacher. And I wanted to go argue with that teacher. I said, "Hey, just got an A in college. What's your problem, dude?" Obviously, I wrote it for a friend, and I can do the Battle of Midway all by memory. Yeah. And whenever someone needed a report, I'm like, "I got that great report. I'll do it." And usually, if they gave me a 6-pack of soda, I could write it all night, and they would turn it in. The report was done, and they always scored a high grade. Yeah. One
of their most recent albums was called The Great War. It came out in 2019. And some of the songs on there's one about the 82nd and Alvin York.
The 82nd Airborne.
Yeah, the one called Attack of the Dead Men, about a battalion that was isolated during a mustard gas attack. One that Jarhead there, Robert would like, called Devil Dogs. Red Baron, Great War, Ghost in the Trenches, The Fields of Verdun, The End of the War to End All Wars, and In Flanders Field. I mean, every song is about a historical battle, and they've got some really powerful lyrics. You get a chance to listen to them, I think you'd get a kick out of them because they are awesome, and it's very heavy music, great mood music for when you're writing. They've got an album called Carolus Rex, which basically talks about the European wars for land, the Swedish kings when they would go to war against like Finland, seeking to expand their borders. Lifetime of War was talking about the battles in England. Gott mit uns. It's basically talking about a God with us. It was told from a German perspective. They talk about if it's a war, they've covered it. Charge of the Light Brigade, the Battle of Bastogne, the Fields of Verdun. I mean, they do every battle throughout World War II in history. They've covered, and it's pretty amazing.
Have you gentlemen had the chance to see the most recent Xanthropoulos film, The Battle of Midway?
I have not seen it yet. I want to.
Okay. I have to say, as one, yes. Had I been involved in that movie, I think I would have. It would have been about 5 minutes longer. That's all. The movie, there is creative license. I'm not going to get into it, but if you've seen the movie and you would like to talk about it, I'd be more than happy to point out all of the historical, not inaccuracies, errors. But it is a fine movie. The story is well told. And I'm not going to say I enjoyed it, but I did appreciate what was there. And I did learn a thing or two, by the way. But the Battle of Midway is something that I've studied my entire life. I would consider myself an expert in the Battle of Midway.
It sounds like a show, Roger.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like a show.
Maybe so, yes. I have. I'm not kidding. I've written numerous reports in the Battle of Midway. I have studied it my entire life. And there were a few things which I did not like in the movie. But again, at its heart, it is well done, gentlemen. It is well done. They really tried to tell a story. I question some of the moves, but it does not take away from what really happened. No way does it. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if we were talking about it, gentlemen, but one of my favorite planes from World War II is the SBD Dauntless Dive Bomber. That is one of my favorite planes. That thing was a workhorse for the Navy. And it was a scouting craft. It could be used as a fighter. It could be used as a lot of things. Forgive me, gentlemen. My youngest is trying to get a hold of me.
No problem. I think my favorite aircraft from World War II has got to be, hands down, the P-51 Mustang. That was just such a beautiful aircraft. I mean, and the model kit that I built of it, it had a wingspan about like this. It was a good-sized aircraft. I mean, I even went down to the details of painting the yellow stripes on the ends of the propellers. It was a really, really solid-looking plane. It was nice.
It's a beautiful aircraft, and I tell you, my other one is the F4U Corsair.
Oh, the Corsair is a beautiful plane.
God, I love that thing.
Yeah, those are nice-looking planes.
It is. But I'm right there with you. I told you about that time I saw one that they came out here with the, I think it's called Wings of America or Wings Over America. They had a bunch of the old military aircraft from World War II. And these old guys go around and
fly those old planes.
Yeah, they fly them in.
They had a bunch of them here in town, and I got to crawl up inside a B-17 bomber. I didn't get to go up in the plane, like fly in the plane, but they had it up there, and they let a few of us poke our heads up in the fuselage. And I looked in the bubble gun. Oh my God, you had to be in like freaking size of a midget to get into
It's
that
tiny
thing.
in there.
There's no way my big ass would have
It's
got in there. I'd have been
insanity.
dead.
Yeah, I mean, I had to walk sideways in that thing. I couldn't even shoulder to shoulder. I couldn't even go walk through that thing. It was
Yeah,
so
I looked at the bubble. I'm like, how the hell did somebody get in that thing?
yeah, yeah, and then
It had to be
stay
a
in
little
there.
guy. He couldn't have been a dude bigger than about 5'5" and 120 pounds.
Right. It was like they're recruiting jockeys to go in there.
They're like, well, crawl down in there and see what you think. I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'll get down in there. If I did, you'd have to cut me out with a torch.
Right. They had the same guy riding Seabiscuit up there in one of them things.
No
man,
kidding.
Those jockeys are small.
Yeah, you would have been a pretty small dude to be one of those tail gunners or belly gunners.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and balls the size of cannonballs.
That's no joke. Knowing damn good and well when they come in to land, if those aircraft if the landing gear don't come down, you're toast.
Right.
Poor bastards. Man, that had to have been something. My dad in World War II, because of his hand-to-hand combat skills, he was a hand-to-hand instructor. He was a black belt in judo. During World War II, he was selected. He was in the Army Air Corps.
Yeah.
He was selected to be part of a group of individuals that would be dropped into Allied France to bring back pilots that got shot down.
Okay.
He was in the precursor of what today is the PJs.
Right.
Back when they didn't know what that was. He spent a good chunk of the war in occupied France bringing out pilots, and he wouldn't talk about it very often. And I remember a few times I did catch him in a moment. When he did say, he said 90% of the time they just brought back dog tags. He said most of the pilots that burned in hard.
Right.
And they just bring back the dog tags.
Yeah. I mean, you do a lot of training as far as what they call trap missions for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times when you got to send in some kind of a force to go in and get some of these folks. So.
That was a different world, man. As much as we like to talk about it and say, that we're just as tough as they were back then, man, they were tougher than boot leather back then.
And God knows they didn't have quite the gear that we do now.
Oh no, they didn't have the protective gear we had, and their weapons weren't up to par either. I mean,
No.
Can you imagine charging ashore at the beach at Normandy with a freaking M1 Garand,
Yeah, right.
trying to reload that stripper clip and under fire.
And leather boots and canvas boots and all that other stuff, man. It just that gear that they carried was just insanely not
Designed to, and those steel pot helmets weighed a ton.
Yeah,
These poor bastards.
heavy and hot and everything else.
But
you could cook in them.
Yeah, you could cook in one. Those guys were men, man.
And it wasn't like it wasn't like you were going over there for 12 or 13 months.
And you were over there till it was done.
They were over there until that crap was done. It was
Until you were dead or you won.
It was like one after another after another after another battle. You count yourself lucky in this one, and then here you are gearing up to go to the next one and the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I give it to those guys.
Yeah, my Uncle Ed was with the 101st. He dropped in to Normandy. He dropped in during the Battle of the Bulge. He fought at the Battle of the Bulge. He was a tough old bastard. That guy was cut from boot leather. I swear to God, that old man at 60 years old was tougher than I was in my prime.
And the kicker of it is a lot of those guys went in and they lied about their age and
yeah.
And that's what Rachel's grandfather was, Marine in the Pacific Island hopping campaigns. They get on them damn boats and then hit a beach or an island and then go to another island and then go to another island. And,
those poor Marines, man. Jesus. I feel so bad for those guys. They're like, okay, we're going to take this island. And they would go take it. And they're all right, we got this island secured. Let's go take another one. I'm like, oh, crap.
Right. Well, I tell you what, though, man, but you talk about Normandy and France and Germany in the wintertime, though, is just brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. those trench lines, and you know, I don't care where you were. You know, those guys that were in the Philippines and those in the jungles and
getting trench rot and
yeah, I mean, any of those places just sucked. Africa,
yeah,
you know,
the poor guys that fought in the desert against Rommel's Africa Corps.
Yeah.
Ooh. And that whole thing was just brutal.
Right.
I mean, the toll it took on the soldiers, you know, from the Navy on down. I mean, everybody paid a huge price for that. And you know, we joke about the Navy now. Oh, you guys just step back and don't do shit. But they were slugfests with the Navy battles. I mean, sometimes those guys hit the water and nobody was there to pull them out. And
Yeah,
to me, that's why I could have never gone in the Navy. The thought of me being in the water and the bottom being 3 miles beneath me scares the living shit out of me.
Yeah, you know, those big guns, man. You know, with the naval support and naval
16-inch
guns. Yeah, those bad boys will bring in the rain.
They'd bring the heat.
Yeah.
Like
they still got so much capability. You know, I hated to see the battleships go, but man, they've got some crazy firepower.
I heard a rumor they may be trying to bring some of the battleships back.
I've heard that too. You know, it's
I mean, there's still 3 or 4 of the Iowa class left.
Those are awesome boats.
Yeah, and to watch some of the YouTube videos of the Missouri firing her guns when Missouri had all of her guns pointed one direction,
pushing it to the side,
and they fired the whole ship scooted to the side. My God, that's power.
Yeah,
that's intense power because that thing weighed like 250 tons or something like that.
They'd call it battle stations. So for the Marines, that means you just go and hit the berthing area and go crash out until they get done.
Yeah, get out of their way.
So they would hit off with that damn Sea Whiz, that multi machine gun that they got.
Mm-hmm.
That thing it was insane loud. You just hear that thing all throughout the whole boat.
The phalanx, oh my God, that phalanx tracking missile systems.
Yeah, it's just insanity on those things.
There's one video I saw where Somali pirates tried to attack a U.S. naval gunship, and they were sinking the Somali boats with the phalanx. Like, these boats are just like coming apart.
Yeah, those things are insane, and they got 50 cals on those things too.
Oh yeah, man! During World War II, those guys, those deck gunners, the guys that would go out there and grab the guns, those was just 250 cals mounted side by side. You had that steel crosshair in the middle. You'd put it up on your shoulders and
yeah,
that was brutal, man. Trying to stop kamikaze planes from blowing your ship up.
I think that thing. What was that on the Sea Whiz? I think that was that a 30 millimeter? 20?
I think it's a 30.
30 millimeter. Yeah, that damn thing is just loud.
Well, it's like the first time I heard one of those Vulcan machine guns, the emplacements on the ground, the Vulcan.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. First time I heard that turret spool up, it was like that. You hear the, I'm like, oh shit. And then,
right.
The target.
Same thing with the A-10. You know, I watched those bad boys in action, and I was happy to have their air support.
Well, we hear that thing. It sounds like a growling dragon spitting fire.
I watched that thing firsthand take out some tanks.
I bet that was a badass sight.
Just wicked.
Yeah, those things don't give a shit what kind of armor your vehicle's got.
No, they were just crushing the Iraqi tanks. They hit them high, we hit them low. It was a good air show. You definitely respected that A-10. That's one of my favorite birds too, by the way.
Oh, the A-10's a beast. I love that thing. That's why I had to use it for Wild Hunt too.
Yeah, you did.
I had to. I had to find a way to bring in the A-10s, and I did.
Yeah. So, Mr. Sullivan, you're out there in Ohio. How's it out there tonight?
Chilly.
Oh, really?
We're still waiting for spring.
We've had second spring in Missouri. I'm waiting on third. It's been chilly again.
You've been
It
able to get,
snowed on April 1st, so that was our April Fool's joke. Was nature.
We had a frost advisory 2 nights ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Missouri can't decide what the hell kind of weather it wants. Stick around. It'll be different tomorrow. And they're saying by Monday, it'll be in the 80s.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in the 70s by midweek again. So hopefully that sticks.
Yeah. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Ohio, what's the, they got a famous cryptid out. What they call that?
The grass man.
The grass man.
Oh yeah, the grass man. He came from West Virginia.
Oh, is that right?
So he crossed the Ohio River, and then he stuck around in the southern Ohio. And I don't know if the grass man. I think that's just something Cheech and Chong made up.
Y'all been trying to send it back to Virginia. So
but the grass man is supposed to be our version of Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Right. Like the Louisiana version or the big version, like up north.
It looked like it was pretty big from the disposed pictures and sightings of it, but
yeah,
but they all seem to be big.
So because I know the size of them are. It seems like the skunk ape and all those are all shorter than the larger ones from the north.
Could be. I haven't really researched it too much, but I do know that I do know some that come from Ohio. The grass man that caught my attention because of the name.
Right.
Then to find out that West Virginia sent it over to it, so I had to send him a thank you note.
So where up there do they got a lot of the sightings of whatever cryptid that y'all got?
Excuse me?
What part of Ohio is a lot of the sightings at?
They're mostly in the south and some in the north. But it seems like, you have sporadic sightings throughout the state. But I think the most sightings are at that Salt Lake Park that we were talking about.
Right.
Because that park has made it part of its theme, so it uses that to bring in tourism. And I don't know if you missed it, like there are actually businesses there that will take you out on these camping trips and show you how to hunt for Bigfoot.
Nice.
It's almost like that Oklahoma thing with the $2.5 million bounty. What is this?
Hey guys, I just got tagged in this by a friend of mine. I didn't know this was up. Wanted to share this with everybody. They've started a GoFundMe to help Hammer's family. His name is Stephen Hammer. I'm going to share the screen and just show it. I didn't know this was up until just a second ago. But Hammer was killed in a motorcycle accident today.
Right.
And they've set up a GoFundMe to help the family. I've got I posted it in the chat room. Just wanted to let everybody know. Stephen Andrew Hammer, we all called him Andy. Just the best officer I ever had the privilege to work with. He was good at literally everything. Whatever task he was assigned, he was good at it. Just a hell of a guy, and I've got so many great memories of Andy. And they set the GoFundMe up. He's got a wife, daughter that's in her late teens, and another son that's 4. And he was a corrections officer with the Federal Medical Center here in Springfield, and just an absolute hell of a guy. And he was my brother, and I'm gonna miss the hell out of that guy.
I'm sorry, DA. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the Hammer family. I never met the individual, but I thank you for sharing what you have, and I thank you for sharing this right here. I invite the entire audience, if you can, whatever you can, no amount. There is no such thing as a small amount. every and any amount. If they have to ask, just let it be at that. If they have to ask us for this, if you can, give. If you can't, leave a comment. It's just as valuable. And DA, I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to the Hammer family. I cannot imagine what you are enduring right now.
Yeah, it's tough to lose a brother. Our hearts and prayers will go out to him from our family to yours and theirs, and we'll do whatever we can. I agree.
Sorry for your loss there, DA. I hope that you can get through this tough time, but my heart goes out to you, buddy. And
Thank
if you ever need to talk to somebody, well, I'm always available. I know we don't know each other that well, but I'm just going to put the offer out there in case you want to talk to someone. But
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, same goes.
it sounds like he was a very good, deserving man, and it was real tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just, for God's sake, people, keep an eye out when you're driving. The motorcycles are out there, and watch for motorcycles. Don't pull out in front of them. Look twice before you pull out, because if the driver had done that, Andy would be alive.
Right, and from my experience on the bikes, there's a lot of people running lights, and they'll run stop signs, and they'll run. And they won't even look to the left, or they won't look to the right. And I'm telling you right now, it's not drinking and driving that is killing people right now. It's telephones. It's the cell phones. Every time I've seen somebody, or every time I've almost been hit on a motorcycle, it's because somebody was on a cell phone.
Robert, you don't even have to see them on the cell phone. You can tell by being behind them.
Yeah.
The way the car drifts, or they're slower than the flow of traffic. And it's frustrating. I just don't get that. And it's the very height of arrogance and stupidity. I just don't get that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's a thing where, I think in a month and a half period of time, I think we had 5 of our, 5 guys that I knew that just got hammered. One of them was an active duty Marine and got paralyzed from the waist down. And, and my daughter, lost one of her, or she didn't lose them, but they, one of her academy mates got hit really bad on one. And man, he spent, I don't know how long in the hospital. It's just tragic that these things are happening to folks that are just out on a bike to get away from it all and have some sort of and I don't know if you guys have ever been on motorcycles or riding or whatever. It's one of the most freeing things that you can do. And you don't have the phones bugging you. You don't have anybody bugging you. You just want to get on. And I'm not saying that there's not folks out there that don't act like, jack wagons on them. But, for the most part, though, these guys are just out there, and it's their escape. And I'm sure, DA, I'm sure your buddy, that was one of his great escapes. Getting on that damn bike and just getting away from it all and just loving it, you know. And it was one of those things I used to tell my wife, no matter whatever happens, just understand that, I was happy. I love you. I'm on the bike because you just never know. And, if something does happen to me, I was doing everything that I did that I loved, being on that bike, and what else can you do? He obviously left good friends behind. And as hard as it is, DA, you talking about them and keeping them in your conversations and everything is just is a big praise to him. And it's something that you're keeping him alive that way, and in your memories and everybody else. We would have never known about the guy unless you started talking about him. You guys might know him there, but now me and Roger know about him, and we know that he's somebody special to you. And I've lost really good buddies that I served with, and I'm sure Roger's lost some folks that were really close to him too. We've all been there in your shoes, and so however you need to grieve, you grieve and you let us know how we can help.
Well, thank you.
If it's sitting back here and having a couple of drinks, fine. That's what we do. Or if you need to talk about it, call anytime.
I think I'm going to put a dedication to him in the front of the new book.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. That would be
DA.
really cool.
Sorry, Robert. DA, if you're up for it, why don't you just tell us a little bit about him? It's public now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's out.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people I met when I started with Greene County. I was assigned to him as I was green as grass. I'd never worked behind the walls. Working in a correctional environment is a different world. As much as they try to explain it, you can't really understand it unless you've done it. It's a different world. You're locked in a housing unit with 140 inmates, and it's you and maybe one other officer. A lot of times I worked solo because we were shorthanded. And Andy taught me a hell of a lot. He taught me to watch people's eyes, to scan their waistband, and watch their hands. And their body language would tell you everything that they were going to do. I could see an attack before it was coming, because I saw the decision in their eyes before they moved. And I learned that from Andy. Andy taught me how to shake down a cell. And it got to the point that was my nickname on my shift. They used to call me Shakedown because I would go in and I would just destroy a pod looking for contraband. And inmates hated to see me and Andy taught me that. Andy taught me how to do that. I could go into a cell and find something as small as a cuff key, and I can tell you in a cell there are a hell of a lot of places to hide something. Some of the things I learned from Andy had nothing to do with law enforcement. It was just philosophy. I know his favorite song was "Simple Man" by Leonard Skinner, and it really summed him up. And in fact, I'm going to be listening to that song. He was one of those people that was just effortless. He got everything he did well.
Yeah, he did, DA. Do you know how I know that?
Because how DA turned out?
Yeah, because DA is here with us.
Right.
Because he taught him how to stay alive.
And we know that too because DA got promoted.
It's a dangerous job, what you did. And it is today. And he trained you. You got through it. I remember when you got hurt, DA.
Yeah.
I remember that time and how difficult it was. And you got through it. You got through it because of him. You're here today because of him. Wow. That means a lot. I don't know about you, man, but I'd smile about that.
Everybody that he trained is a legacy of him. And that is something that you're going to have to remember. And you've got folks that you train that are a legacy of you, and so on. So you carried that torch down. So when you kind of really look at it, not only of all the folks that he trained, but all the people that he trained left a legacy of folks carrying on the torch.
Yeah.
And that's a huge legacy. and it means a lot to a lot of folks. Like Roger said, it's a dangerous job. It's a thankless job for a lot, for a lot of things. And but you still get on that uniform. You still go in there and walk the walk and do everything that you're supposed to do. And in the most atrocious situations, and you come out of it. And it's unfortunate that a lot of times you guys go into those situations and you survive them. And then something like that happens out on the street. You spend most of your days in your dangerous job, and then you go out and because somebody wasn't paying attention, take somebody out. And but at the end of the day, his legacy will always go on. He's got how many of you guys that he's ever trained, and then y'all trained. So that's a lot of years of legacy there. And that's what's so amazing about anybody in the profession about that. It goes on and on and on.
DA, I remember watching, and forgive me, it's going to take a moment for me to get there, but bear with me. I remember watching this program called Alaska State Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this young man who was an officer. And I forget the exact situation, but it was, I believe, an older gentleman who was really bad shape. And he was on someone's porch, probably drunk. Maybe he was whatever. And it was bad. And this young kid shows up, and he's still trying to treat this individual as a person. And this is life and death, but yet he's still treating him. And this young man, and it was an older gentleman that was on the floor and in front of this house. And when the medical aid arrived and they're getting him ready and going, there was a question that was asked and we didn't hear it on air. And he said, my dad was also a trooper. And he said, son, you're going to meet people when they're at their lowest. They don't want to be there, but they're there. Many of them will get out of it, but they're there not because they want to be, but they're at the bottom. They're at their worst. They don't want to be there, but they're still human beings. And you cannot forget that. And he did not. And those words stuck with me because he said, it is service. And DA, his training, in my humble interpretation, is the exact same thing. These people are at their lowest and they don't want to be there. And you were taught to get through there, but even in your own way to protect them. And Robert used an incredible word called legacy. And it says it all. And now I'm going to repeat what he said, so I'm not, but it's obvious. His training, look at how it's a little trickle of water on you, and then that water went to other people. Except Robert said it a little more eloquently than I. And you are not unlike that officer. That you're serving these people that when they're at their lowest, they don't want to be there. But yet they are. And they're still human beings. And he taught you, trained you to survive and to keep these people safe. Wow. And you're still here. And you talk about it, DA. You share everything he did. No trade secrets, because that'll betray. But
yeah, there's some parts of it you can't talk about.
No, and it's not right. But there's a lot to share. And yeah, it's a big deal, man. And I'm sorry again. And I'm sorry. I know the family's not listening to me, but I cannot imagine what they're enduring right now. I can't fathom it. And I'm so sorry. Yeah.
How many? Was he retired or was he still working? Yeah.
He was still, and he'd left Greene County, and he was working for. He was a federal corrections officer working for the Federal Medical Center here, for the federal prison system.
Mm-hmm.
He'd left and gone to them a number of years ago. Thank you, Roger. Yeah, he was still in the game. I'm not so much in it anymore, not necessarily by choice, but
Right.
Yeah, he was still a CO.
That's corrections officer, correct?
Yes. Sorry.
Stop with the sorries.
The great ones are you always remember. You know, you remember the goofy ones too.
Oh yeah.
Or, you know, or the ones that because they made you laugh or you were pissed off at them all the time. But you know, the great leaders and great trainers and instructors, you just never forget. And once again, that's just something you'll always hold in your heart. Is a place for that man, and so like I said, God bless him and his family. You know, we'll keep him in our prayers, and you keeping him alive by keep talking. You know, you talk about him. You're going to put him in your book cover. I mean, you know, that's keeping that man's legacy alive, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to share with him, or maybe on another day you'll share some more?
Yeah, probably later. I was hoping I could find my pictures because I've got a bunch of pictures from back in the day when we all worked together.
And you know how it is. You know how it is. They're there, but the minute you need them, you can't find them.
I can't find a single one of them.
We've all, Almighty, Robert, me, we've all been there. Yes, it is.
I could go find a file that I didn't even know exists, some kind of receipt from, some store 32 years ago, and I'm looking for a document that I had last week, and I can't find it.
Yeah.
I found some of them, but not pictures. I can't find any of the ones of that. There's me running the shotgun qualifier, and that's me with the shotgun in my hand. We were out in the butt crack of nowhere at this range running the qualifier.
Is that the predecessor to the AA-12?
No, that's just a.
No, I know. That's one of the guns mentioned.
that's a Remington 870 Police Magnum.
Oh yeah, that's old reliable, right?
Yeah.
In one of your books, if not the AA-12, it was a SOCOM. Doesn't Clark request from Hall? I think that's his name, right? Hall.
Yeah, Hall.
Give me this. Hey, I'm remembering my names now. You know I've read them. Doesn't he, or don't they add like a grenade launcher?
Oh yeah, they add all kinds of shit to that.
Or
thing.
No. Maybe not a grenade, but a shotgun thing.
Yeah, he actually has him build him an AA-12.
Yeah, that's why I said AA-12. So I got it right.
Yeah, that thing's a beast.
Gentlemen, have you seen the M41A pulse rifle from Aliens? Someone actually made that one. Have you guys seen that one?
I have not.
Oh, let me do a share page in a moment. Keep talking. Forgive me. Some guy made, I don't know what the caliber is, but he did the exact rifle from Aliens. And if you look it up on YouTube, you'll find it. And now I understand they're selling it now, so you can buy it.
What?
But if you look up M41A, there it is, pulse rifle. You can actually buy the toy, and you can buy a real one. So there's no sound in this, but check it out. I'm going to go to a share screen. Well, let me set this up first. And there is a commercial, so forgive me a moment. And there we go. I wish there was sound, but check it out, gentlemen. Let me go to it right here. Okay. There it is. Check it out.
Is it an AR platform?
You may recognize this gun. Look at that. The digital.
Got a shotgun on the front.
Yep. Nine millimeter.
I noticed that there's a big resurgence in the 9mm field in the
Yeah,
rifle.
but guys, it is now for sale.
Remember, DA, back when the MP5s were real popular?
Oh yeah, I'd still love to have
Remember
one.
that, DA?
Yeah, I'd still like to have one.
Oh, yeah,
The
those things were
MP5?
incredible.
Isn't that the one that they used in Terminator 2? The MP5?
Maybe I don't remember off
Okay.
the top of my head. Been a long time since I've seen
I
the
haven't
seen
I
Terminator.
haven't seen
Terminator 2. Yeah, it's been a while.
I haven't seen
But
that
gentlemen,
since it probably came out.
Yeah, that's probably the
Okay.
last time I saw it.
that's the M41A Pulse rifle. On that video, it's not for sale, but if you do search for it, it is now for sale. The M41A Pulse rifle. I mean, guys, for those of us that grew up, that's the wet dream of wet dreams, guys. Well, one of them.
And I'm sure it's California legal too, there, Roger.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm going to get my Mac 10 from my nephew, and I'll have to show it. I can't say it on air. Let's just say I have a Mac 10, but the cartridge is the original cartridge. That's all we'll go with. And I was so disappointed when I told DA, hey, so for the zombie apocalypse, if I have a Newsy, a Mac 10, that's awesome, right? It's like, no, that makes too much noise. You'll call the zombies towards you. Oh, shit.
That and it's just a bullet hose.
Well, yeah, it puts a wall.
Yeah, and 1 out of every 100 rounds hitting the target.
Well, the the mag that I have is yeah, I'm not going to say.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm not. It's an original Mac 10 from. Oh, and folks, this is the Mac 10 from the the Visitors. Ham Tyler, remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one. I loved that weapon. Oh my god! And my brother
What you're trying to say? It's got 10 round magazines.
Yeah, so 10-round magazine at the most.
magazines. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 10 round magazines.
Oh, right. And I understand it has that safety interlock thing. Yeah, I think it's on there.
It's California compliant and it's environmental safety.
And it's green, too.
The ultimate in green.
Yeah, we're very good.
It doesn't have a suppressor. It's got a gas retention cylinder.
That's funny, yes. I haven't fired that one in a little while, but I would like to go shooting again one of these days. And I'm not sure if I mentioned to you, but my brother, Lewis, he was an avid gun collector. He had an M1. He had a 12-gauge shotgun. He had even like what I call his flintlock shotgun. It was the old one, the one where you just click it, drop it in there, bam, just a single shot. He had, of course, a 45. Oh, that one was beautiful. He had a 9mm. He had a 38. He had what we were all frightened of, his hair trigger 357. That one was nice. And he had an M1, and he had a Velmet, which is the Finnish version of the AK-47. And that one had the folding stock, and it had the fluorescent sights on it, which was awesome, man. You could be there out in the middle of the night and light up any turkey you wanted. And my favorite one that he had, though, he had a 22 with all the add-on parts to an M16.
Nice.
But it was a 22. but it looked like an M16. That one was cool.
Yeah, those have gotten really popular too. The 22s that they look like ARs and M16s. You can still get those.
Oh, okay, yeah. He had this back in the late 80s, early 90s, and he had so many guns. I was lucky when we would go out to the desert out here. Oh, well, Rob, you probably know the area. East of us, up Highway 162, which was going towards, oh my God, the big Marine base out there, 29 Palms. And this was past, this is past 29 Palms, over in the Coxcomb and the Sheephole Mountains, where Patton worked out before he went to Africa. And it's rumored that they buried their equipment there. That is so stupid. We didn't have enough equipment to bury and then take it over there at that time. But that's the rumor, that Patton buried his army out there. Like that, yeah, you guys didn't know what was going on. But we would go out to this Coxcomb and Sheephole Mountains. Man, it was great going out there. And I used my brother's M1. Oh, man, that thing was bitching.
Did you stop off at Amboy out there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did. Yeah, back in the late 80s. Or early to middle 80s. There wasn't much out there, man.
No.
But it was fun going out there to the desert and just being able to shoot off weapons. It was cool. And like I said, I was lucky. I had first pick, and I always chose the M1. It was the closest to a military rifle that he had. Yeah, I don't know which guns he still has. My nephew has a Glock. I don't know which one. But it's real nice. Cost him like about $1,000.
Nice.
It's real light, too. And he has it for home defense. Like, yeah, man. I feel sorry for the dumb bastard that wants to walk in. Serves him right.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's a nice handgun that he has. I have pictures of that one, but it's right next to the Mac 10, so yeah. No. I've got to buy a new magazine for the Mac 10.
I don't have anything, no weapons.
And we're all lost in a tragic boating accident.
Correct.
Very good.
None.
Yeah. Very, very good. Yeah, I lent it to my nephew, and he's had it for a little while, so hopefully he'll be able to get it back to me real soon. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow, the big dog and I are going to go to Frank & Sons, and we're going to go visit that little kid's warehouse. It's huge. It's at an old, not a Walmart, but a Sam's Club, and they just took up the entire store. And it's like an indoor swap meet. And there's at least 300 different booths or retailers. So it's cool.
Yeah,
a lot of toys.
Those are pretty cool.
You take pictures?
I'm sorry, Almighty?
I was going to say, you take pictures.
I will, yes. What's that picture, DA? Tell us about it.
That is a shift photo taken when Andy and I were on shift together. I'm right toward the front.
Yeah, I can tell. What was that, like 30 years ago?
No, that was 15 years ago, thereabouts.
Oh, all right.
And if you look above my head and to the right.
You have hair!
Yeah, I had a little bit of hair. If you look above my head and to the right at the back of the eagle, the guy that stands ahead above the crowd, that's Andy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
He's a big dude. He was 6'4", 6'5".
Wow. He's a big boy.
There's a picture of me and a buddy of mine in a squad car one night. Well, one afternoon. That's Andy Benjamin.
Yeah, but this is now, you're no longer a corrections officer, right?
That was patrol, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the life-saving award I got.
That's all right.
Oh, there you go. So you say the male patient that had ED?
Yeah.
In the ER. In the
Yeah,
in the emergency
patient had
department.
ED.
Yeah.
That's
ED.
emergency department, right?
Yeah.
Emergency department.
Yeah, he came in and we
No,
couldn't breathe. He
a
was
little
choking.
different than the other.
Yeah, erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't help with that. But he was choking. He was choking, and the nurses at the desk were like 5'3", 5'4". They were little bitty girls, and this guy was probably 6'6", 6'7", probably 350 pounds, and he was gasping. And they're like, "We can't help him." And I went running over there, and I'm like, "All right, tell me what I need to do." And I did the Heimlich and got him breathing again. And they put him in a wheelchair, took him to the back, and then I immediately beat feet. I tried to get out of the ER because I didn't want anybody to say anything, and they caught it on camera and called me out on it. I had no intention of sticking around for them to say anything about it. I was just, the nurses save people's lives every day, and nobody says anything. All I did was help.
Yeah, you did. But it's nice to be recognized.
I know I've got more pictures. I just can't find them.
Well, it's like we said. You're looking for them right now, so you're going to have a hard time finding them. I'm sorry. That was the chair.
This one's funny. This is me after I got pepper sprayed.
I was about to say that's definitely after pepper spray.
Yeah, I got blasted pretty good.
That stuff will definitely blind you. That's for sure.
God, it was brutal.
How long did the effect last?
I could still feel it, like every time I would like to shower and stuff. Like 4 days later.
Really?
Yeah, that stuff's nasty. The law enforcement grade of pepper spray is a hell of a lot stronger than what civilians can buy. It was pretty nasty stuff.
I bet.
It was good times, good officers, good people, a lot of good memories.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a funny one. We 4 of us on shift volunteered to shave our heads because they were raising money for an officer whose family needed help, and they were asking, you donate so much money, these guys will shave their heads, and I was already at the point I was shaving it anyway, but the 4 of us all shaved our heads. That's at the time Corporal Mike Mello on the far end, Corporal Steve Wilcox, he's retired now. And the big lug next to me immediately is Shane Rogers. He's a lieutenant. He's still with Greene County. Mike Mello is a sergeant still with Greene County. And that was me at the far right before I made corporal. Bunch of idiots.
Oh, cut it out. Yeah,
good times.
Yeah. Sounds like it. I'm glad you're sharing with us, DI.
Sometimes it helps.
Yeah. Thank God the liquor wore off already. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I let it affect me. I downed those first 2 hard lemonades. I know, lemonades. Cut it out.
We couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, he's okay.
We've all been there, Roger. It's all good.
Yeah, you're fine, man.
Yeah, it's
good.
strange. It feels a little heavy right now, but it's going away, thank goodness. Oh, look at that swami right there.
That was just outside the booking area. I walked out there, and a buddy of mine who was on patrol had just brought a guy in, and I was just standing there, and he just snapped a picture of me. I'm like, what are you taking pictures of me for? You're not even supposed to take a camera in here. He's like, man, what are they going to do, fire me?
Yeah, well. You heard what those idiots did a year ago, right when the accident for Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I hadn't heard about what they do.
They had
I heard about
pictures.
that.
Yeah, the sheriff's deputies had pictures from the crash site and pictures of Kobe Bryant and the daughter
crash.
and others,
Yeah, I never took pictures at a crime scene.
and they shared them amongst themselves.
Oh, that's my old badge.
And they were idiots. They went to public places and shared the video.
Wow.
The
That's
images.
stupid.
Yeah.
I would never have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got caught too.
Yeah, I'm sure they got in a hell of a lot of trouble too.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a massive payout.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That is no bueno.
Stupid.
I don't know why they would even think that was. Oh man, that's just
Kobe
basic.
Bryant.
Do that crap.
It was Kobe Bryant. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You don't do that at all. Least of all with a celebrity.
Well, I know they do it. Look, yes, they do, but they keep it to themselves. And it was a high profile. It was too much, and they went to a bar. I forget where it was, and the cop was coming in, or the deputy, excuse me, was coming in like once a week, and he was showing the pictures to everyone. So someone who was very tight with the family was there, couldn't believe it, waited to the next week, and got proof. And yeah. And just because you delete the pictures from your phone, people think the evidence is gone.
Yeah. That was what we used to call the death photo. They took pictures of those once a year of us. And if something happened to you, that was the photo they released to the newspaper. So we called it our death photo.
Damn. That's messed up, homie.
We were morbid.
Well, your job was life and death, man. There's no doubt about it.
And we knew that was the only time that photo was ever going to get shown in public.
Damn. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I'm going to have to really dig through my computer to find the pictures I'm wanting to find, but I can't find them. It's going to drive me insane.
Well, you'll find them, and maybe you can.
Probably the minute I quit looking for them.
Yeah, of course. That's how it is.
Right.
I'll be looking for something else, and there they'll be. I'm like, I looked in that file.
So, how close are you to finishing your book right now?
It'll be done this weekend.
Yeah. Easter Sunday. Is there going to be an Easter egg in there?
Maybe.
That'll be good. I went to the market and I picked up a few more of these sanitizers, and I went big. I got the massively huge sanitizer to refill. What does that meme say? I never thought that my hands would absorb more alcohol than my mouth. That's funny.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, I like that meme.
Yeah, not wrong there.
There's a lot. Jeez. This is 60 ounces.
You gonna be able to write tonight, DA?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Oh, well, my youngest just arrived. I think she
bring you food? She's always bringing you food.
Yeah, and unfortunately because of it, I have what's left of the Subway sandwich.
Every time he's on a show, she's bringing him food.
Well, as a matter of fact, and it's also show and tell. Look at me, I got you chicken pozole. Okay, so show and tell. Okay, gentlemen, Robert, are you familiar with the Hat here in LA? The Hat.
The Hat.
Yeah, here in Southern California, the pastrami. They're well known for. Yeah, they're well known for their pastrami. So yes, she got me one. I'm sorry. What do you have from work? Come on, show and tell, baby. You always do this.
They're just tomatoes. That's all.
I tell my daughter, do they even pay you, or do you just give it back to them? So they can hear you. What is this?
An amiibo. Basically,
Amiibo?
amiibo. Like a Wii amiibo.
So what is it?
It's just a figurine that can give you bonus stuff depending on the game. It gives you more bonus stuff.
Hey, DA, that should be in one of your books.
It actually says on the back what it gives you for the game. Appropriate.
She says that if you buy these figurines, they give you points online for the particular game. This is a Monster Hunter called Rise.
No, that's the game.
Oh, that's the game. I'm sorry.
Then the name of the monster is Magnamalo.
What was that?
Right there, the name Magnamalo.
Magnamalo. That is cool. That's one mean-looking dude.
Definitely.
All of them even came in. I'm still missing one.
So what else do you have?
Oh
yeah, I showed you this one.
There's one more, but it hasn't come in
yet. And who is
yet.
this? This looks like a little kid that...
It's a cat.
It's a cat?
Yeah, it's your buddy in game.
Those colors are festive.
Yes.
Looks Latin.
Oh my god. It's Japanese style.
Oh, it's Japanese. Wow, wasn't I insensitive? These are cool, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it tells you what you get from it, and it's the armor layer.
Is that the price?
Anyways. No. Get over here.
What the hell, man?
What is that?
That's
$19.
$20. And the other one is more. That's right. Is that the price? She works for GameStop, man. I don't know why they give her a paycheck. But it's all good.
Because I do a decent job, apparently.
Yeah, we have a lot of items right here. That's cool, man.
We?
Well, the toys you've been collecting lately. Did you guys see the lightsabers? Did I show them to you the other day? Oh my gosh. She's got a lot of stuff. Oh, check these. Check it out, boys.
The cheese is still on there. The cheese is still on there.
These are the chili cheese fries.
Nice.
Oh my god, that's the American way of perversion. My heart is already like, dude, you're killing me.
I'd go for some chili cheese fries right now.
Yeah, and I got the chili cheese fries all over my computer.
Good, huh?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, and I got Pokemon.
Hey, young man, you've got some nice places down there in San Diego, Robert. There's a lot of authentic stuff in San Diego. You guys, for being a smaller city, San Diego's got some good eats, man.
San Diego's a smaller city?
Compared to LA?
Oh,
Good
yeah.
God, yes.
Compared to LA, it is.
But
I guess I can see that.
I mean, it is. I mean, San Diego's a big city, but no, it's smaller. If I had my dithers, I would love to drive in San Diego, all over San Diego. It's an easy drive. Look,
Yeah.
let's put it this way.
It is.
When I show up in the gas-lamped quarter to pick up someone, there's like 50, 100 people. If I show up to West Hollywood, there's 3,000 people, and they're all looking for a silver Nissan Versa. It's no fun. It's just no fun.
They are in West Hollywood?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of traffic out there in West Hollywood. There's some things I don't miss, but when I did drive Uber and Lyft, heading out to the periphery and stuff, it was sweet. I drove from the border in San Diego all the way through to Moreno Valley to the east, all the way up to Apple Valley, Victorville to the north, Silmar, I guess, in this side of the mountains, and all the way to Carpinteria, just short of Santa Barbara. And everywhere in between, man, I did Uber and Lyft. It was crazy. It was exciting.
Oh, wow.
I did it for 5 years, and it was good. I don't want to do it anymore though.
Yeah. Did you do a bunch of stuff on old on the one?
Oh yeah.
Highway 1?
Oh heck yeah. All the way from somewhere on Malibu, all the way through down to Dana Point. Oh yeah.
Yeah, my daughter used to play. We'd go to soccer games up there, even go all the way up to Santa Barbara and all that. And my gosh, we got caught on that that Highway one time that it took us hours to get down from there because it's light after light after light.
Oh yeah, there are parts of it. Now, is this the one outside of San Luis Obispo going north?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, passing Morro Bay and then getting over to Hearst Castle. We went there on our honeymoon. It was nice, Hearst Castle. I'd like to go back there one more time. But yeah, there are parts of one that right there on the beach. Yeah, you're effed.
Yeah, it was bad. And then if you get on the 5 between San Diego and San
Onofre
San Clemente.
Or San Clemente. Oh yeah,
San Clemente.
Yeah.
They get a wreck on that thing. You're stuck. You're done. We got stuck on that thing for 7 hours one time.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
Yeah, God help you if they have a death on in a wreck.
Yeah, gentlemen.
That for hours.
Yes. Just north of Oceanside, what Robert's talking about. Oceanside is still in San Diego, but that's where the Marine base is, basically. Camp Pendleton.
Camp Pendleton.
So when you continue north, there's this like a little sliver of land. It's just the 5 for what? 20 miles, maybe? Or easy 10 to 20.
Yeah, 20
Might
miles
even be more than that. It could easily be more than that. If there's an accident there, there's no place to go. You got the Marines on the right, well, if you're going north, and you got the Marines on the left. Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, if I have access to the base, so if it's anywhere near Polgus, I can get off. And I've got the keys to the gate, so I can go off the other way. So,
young man, are you still active duty right now?
No.
Okay. Staff Sergeant Mario Jurina. Do you know him by chance? I know there's like 5,000 of you guys right there.
No, it's 50,000 plus out there.
Oh, 50,000, yeah, okay.
So,
it's like there's probably 200 staff sergeants out there, easy. Oh, that might be an exaggeration, but yeah, there's a few.
And is he a relative of yours, or?
No, as a matter of fact, he was a host on one of our sports programs. We met him in Las Vegas, no less, and he goes by the call sign Cuervo.
And he's currently out here at Camp Pendleton.
Yeah, and I think he's going to retire. And I'm not going to repeat his name because I know I messed it up, but yeah, I know I didn't pronounce it correctly. I'll probably send it to you just out of curiosity.
Okay,
instant message right here.
If he's still in, I can find him.
Yeah, and I think he was part of the aviation group. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, great guy. I'm glad I met him, and he's a really good guy. And he's now he's done. He's I think he's got his 20 years in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll look him up if I got the name, and then if he's in the global, I can find him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He really is. He's been over a few times. It was funny because he's a big Michael Jordan fan because of the Bulls, and the big dog was here, and he all of a sudden says, "Well, I want to be careful about this before the big dog hits me." Like, what? Wait, what? I said, "What do you mean?" Well, I don't want to get into a fight with the big dog here. He said, "Cuervo, you're trained to kill. We fear you. How can you fear us?" Oh man, it was funny. Good guy. But I just sent it to you via the messenger right here on the program.
Okay. Sure.
So anyway, DA, I went off. What a shock.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine, man. I wasn't much in the mood to talk there for a minute anyway.
No, hey, it's all good. If anyone needs me to be a filler, sheesh. Say, hey, Raj, what's going on? That's it. I'm done. You want me to talk Star Trek? I'll bore that crap out of you.
I need to go talk to a buddy of mine.
I'll even do it in Latin.
I need to go talk to a buddy of mine who's an armorer. I've got a, I don't know if you can see it very well. It is a competition trigger for my Glock 17.
Wow.
Need to have that put in. If I had the tools, I'd do it myself, but I don't want to tear my Glock down.
That's cool, man.
I want to get that put in and go put some trigger time on it. That'll shave a quarter of a second off my response time because it's a lighter trigger.
DA, I know that we were talking about meeting in September of this year.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to. It's not going to be September. My youngest over here, she's going to be starting school in September. So I might want to move it up a little bit, maybe the hottest time of the year, July or August. That's not going to be fun.
Yeah, let me know.
We will in advance. As soon as tax season ends, my brother, we're going to be doing some things. We're going to be doing some traveling. Robert, are you a baseball fan? Robert,
Me?
are you a baseball fan? Yeah.
Okay.
Are you a baseball fan?
Not really.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Because I know we're going to be heading down to San Diego this year to go catch a game or two.
You can't give baseball bats to Marines. They're just going to break something.
Cool.
Well, I understand that the latest put down is how do you know when a Marine has been in your office? Because there are crayons all over the place. That's so messed up,
The
man.
wrappers, crayons.
That was so messed up, dude.
I thought it was because your girlfriend looked happy.
Oh!
I will translate that one to my daughter. That is funny. Marine, you heard my joke, right? You know, how do you know Marine's been here? There are crayons all over the place. He says, no, it's because your girlfriend's happy. That's funny. That's funny. My poor daughter's joking on that one.
Pathfinder, first in, last out.
That's pretty good. Very good. Yeah, I'm not going to
And he
translate
ate your
that one.
crayons.
That's right.
And he ate your crayon. Oh my goodness, that's funny. I apologize, gentlemen.
With the crayon jokes, and we're happy with it.
Oh yeah.
You know, because those 64 crayon boxes are like a buffet.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That was kind of funny. I'm starting to feel a little bit better.
What you eating over there? You still eating those
pastrami.
chili fries?
He's eating that pastrami.
No, my daughter's having the chili fries. I'm having the pastrami. Forgive me, gentlemen. I apologize. Robert, if you ever get up to LA, we can hit the Hat or even Tommy's. The Hat, it's pastrami. They have a bunch of other stuff, but the Hat, oh my God, that's an American staple. The Hat.
Hey, Roger, don't they have one up in La Brea?
Which one? Both the Hat and Tommy's?
They've got some kind of pastrami place up there in La Brea. I thought over there by the.
Oh, most definitely. It probably is one of the Hats.
That's the first time I seen it, and it was a big place. But I know Tommy's. We got Tommy's down here, the burger place.
Oh hell yeah! Isn't that awesome, man? The chili.
Yeah, they own like what? Tommy's number 59 or some crap, and
yeah, Tommy. There is, gentlemen. That's the one I told you about. It's comfort food. There is no healthy anything out of the Tommy's chili burger. Oh, it just.
Well, when you order a chili burger, if you're concerned about your health at all, you probably shouldn't be ordering chili burgers.
No, but some people,
Right.
yeah, of course.
what he's saying is anybody that goes into a Tommy's burger is not going to get a Diet Coke either.
Right.
Like in some places.
They probably don't even offer it on the menu.
Right. It's probably going to be the chocolate shake and the the Tommy's Burger.
Well, it's like going to a Denny's in the middle of the night. You could get that Denny's hot dog with chili on it, with onions and jalapenos, and for an extra $1, they'll throw bacon on it, like it already wasn't going to kill you.
Yeah,
it wasn't already a heart stopper.
Yeah,
but you know,
there wasn't enough nitrates and crap in that to kill you. Throw some bacon on that son of a gun.
Well, yeah, most of the time you're at Denny's at 2 a.m. You've already been drinking so much that it's just going to be just drinking food.
I ordered that one night. The waitress was like, "Would you like the bacon on that?" And I just blinked. I'm like, "It comes with bacon?" Yeah, of course I want bacon on it. I will never say no. I don't want bacon on that.
See, the difference between you and me, DA, is I would have said, "Where have you been for the last 20 years of my life?" Oh man, I made the mistake of saying that to my personal assistant right here. I said, "Where were you 20 years ago?" She said, "High school." I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was years ago. I was working with a bunch of officers, and one of the girls that was in that group photo I showed. I said something, and we used to zing each other all the time. We would say off-color crap to each other, like borderline dirty stuff. And I said something one time. She goes, "You're just a dirty old man." I go, "Hey, I'm not old."
Just dirty.
Oh man.
I'll cop to the dirty part.
Right.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I don't know when I crossed that line, but I became the dirty old uncle. And I'm okay with that. In the family, I'm the dirty old uncle. You know what?
Oh no.
I can see the
You're not
way
the guy that they go, "This is the guy we call Uncle," is it?
Uncle Roger. It's Uncle Roger.
I call you Chester when you're not around.
No. They know me how I am, and it's just damn funny. It's all good.
Uncle Chester.
No, thank God. God, even Almighty's laughing at that one. No. No, definitely not. But it's all good. So, DA, how you doing? Where do you want to take us now, man?
Guys, I'm about spent. I probably ought to either get to writing or maybe go to bed. I'm kind of wrung out.
DA, I know we're gonna put you through the ringer again, and I apologize, but I am gratified and I am humbled that you shared with us what you did. And again, I am sorry, my brother. Based on what you shared, I will remember what you shared with us tonight. And I'm sorry, DA. And I know to the family, I'm going to be thinking about them as well, because obviously we all lose with his passing. And I'm sorry, DA. But I thank you for spending the time with us, DA, and we will be talking again soon. So I know we're all going to say our goodbyes. Almighty, thank you. Robert, thank you. And DA, I'm here, man. But you can contact me whenever. But I appreciate it, DA, and I'm sorry again, man. I'm not going to belabor it anymore.
Thank you. And again, I want to dedicate this show to Andy Hammer, best officer I ever knew. Goodbye, Andy.
Thank you for joining us tonight on DA Ex Machina. Follow DA on social media and check out all his work at www.daroberts.net. Good night, and don't forget to lock your doors.